the situation they have going on. I've never seen a rally car set up like this. And of course, here comes Brandon. Hey, Brandon, come on over here, man. All right, so walk me through what you guys had to do to basically relocate the throttle.
Basically, there's a little rod connecting the throttle pedal down to the footrest or the pedal box, what we call. The pedal box has all the pedals attached to it. And it's a fly-by-wire system, so there's no mechanical attachment at all. You push the pedal down, it moves a little rod. It tells the computer this is full throttle or half throttle. What we did is we relocated that up to the steering wheel. So now he has, it looks like a fancy World Rally car. He's got some paddle shifts on the wheel. It's actually the throttle. What he does is he'll pull it with his right hand and he can have throttle. When he wants to shift, he'll let his right hand go to the shifter. He'll move over to his left hand, he'll run the throttle with his left side. Now, he's got a busted finger on the left side, so as little use as possible on the left side, but it's only the throttle. It's pretty cool looking. He's happy with it so far. We're making some fine-tuned adjustments on it, and we're going to go back out in an hour and see if we can't run this thing again for him.
Now, I was actually talking to some of the guys, and they said Pastrana's only 2 seconds off the fast pace out there on the track right now. So this isn't slowing him down too much. You guys hooked him up pretty well then.
Yeah. My boy stayed up all night. He's happy with it. He's a little disappointed with the real tight corner he's having a tough time with, but he said he can get over that. And between us and him, we're going to get through this. So it's going to be a good weekend. Looking forward to it.
All right, the Pastrana-thon will continue. No NASCAR. But I'm going to send it back up to you guys. Thank you very much. Again, Travis Pastrana, he's in it to win it.
Right on. He's happy with it. I mean, could you imagine that? You're setting up a car and then all of a sudden you have to reprogram and do something that's never been done before? Well, remember, this is XCast, so if you want to see inside Travis Pastrana's car, if you want to see another athlete out there, just send us in the requests and we'll go make it happen. And Mick, maybe some questions. What do we have out there?
Yeah, we're getting some in. If you guys have any questions on anything rally related, send them in. We're literally reading them. We actually posed the question earlier, and I think it kind of sums up Travis Pastrana, but we asked, can he be stopped? Short answer, no. I don't think he can be stopped.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. He's like a machine out there.
Definitely. Yeah, no, just keep saying those questions, and we'll make sure to read them out and respond to you guys. I know looks like we got a really international crowd right now. But yeah, keep sending them in, and you know, let's talk more about I know someone mentioned the team aspect of the whole rally dimension, and now that there's not necessarily a co-driver in these courses, but it's still a team sport. Can you take us through that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. You know, they say that there's no co-driver, but there are a lot of co-drivers in the pits right now. Right now, the co-drivers are spotting the guys. They're, you know, kind of going through that whole mental thing with them. A lot of these guys now are used to this rallycross format where they're alone in the car and they have to know the course. But that's still new to them. That's really, really new to a lot of these guys. And they're really used to having a second person in the car where they get to talk to them, they get to run things down with them, that right before you start a stage, you're sitting there having a conversation about what's going to happen. And that makes a big difference. So right now, you know, when they're sitting there in the car by themselves, you know, it can feel like it's not a team sport, but then we've got all the mechanics, the team organizers, you know, I mean, there's so much going on in there.
And here's a good question from Ryan James.
I think we, sorry to cut you off, James. I think we're able to grab the man, Travis Pastrana. Jen Horsey's out there with him right now.
I'm here with Travis Pastrana. Surprise appearance on the race course this morning in practice. Travis, looks like you're using hand controls. How's it feel out there?
The team did amazing. I mean, we've got basically everything here that allows me to work where I don't have to use use that leg or the ankle or anything. So, you know, we just want to go out today. We're not sure. We got to pass all the safety and whatnot and see if I can even tolerate the pain in the car. But so far, the first practice felt okay. You know, we're definitely off pace. It's like playing your favorite video game and then having to relearn with all different buttons. So, you know, we're all the way here at X Games though, and you know, had a lot of people put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and hey, I love this event, so we're gonna try our best to get in there if we can.
You've got a broken ankle and a broken foot, and this hand doesn't feel so good. How are you feeling in the car? I mean, that jump's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pass out, which is what everyone's worried about. So, you know, I'm going to be safe in there. But yeah, I mean, Doc said, you know, whatever I do, it doesn't, you know, as long as I can tolerate the pain, I'm good. I got You know, I broke the tibia pretty good, so I get pins and plates in that, pins and plates in the foot. I got my hand, I'll be pinned and plated on Tuesday anyway, so whatever else I heard, I'll just get that added to the list. So it's not going to be too fun in the car, but you know what? It's X Games, man. We came here to race, and we're going to do our best to get out there.
All right, so throttle with the right hand and shifting with the left. Not sure if Travis is going to be out there yet, but we'll find out soon. Thanks, Trav.
Well, I think that's the best analogy ever. It's like playing your favorite video game and then they switch the buttons on you. And you come from a family of racers. I mean, really just break down for us how difficult it is to just add the gas up to your steering wheel.
Oh, it's going to be very, very hard. You know, it's like, you know, it's all of a sudden he's flying a plane rather than driving a car, that kind of thing. So all of the, you know, all of that muscle memory that he's got from his right foot, he's now got to put into his hand. Now, Travis is in a unique situation where he is used to controlling a throttle with his hand on the motorcycle. And so, you know, he's going to be a lot better at it than a lot of the other guys. But it's still a different action than it is on the motorcycle. So, I don't know. We'll see.
We will see for sure coming up here soon. I think Will has Liam Doran down in the pits. Will, what do you got for us?
All right, so check it out. I'm in the pits here of the 33, Mr. Liam Doran. Man, you came a long way out here to compete. You got the sweet new suit. Liam, he doesn't even have the Cali accent. Why? Because, well, he's not from California. Where are you from, Liam?
From London, from just outside London in England. Long way. Yeah, long way. Cars flown over here with us, and we're great to be here. It's warm, and should be a big event, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, and this is not exactly a Ford Fiesta or a Mitsubishi Evo. This is the only car here of its kind. This is a Citroen C4. And tell me a little bit about your car, man.
Yeah, well, obviously people aren't going to know what we're doing here, but yeah, it's a Citroen C4. Bringing it over from Europe. So it's our European competition car. You don't sell them over here, but they're big over in Europe. But it's got what it takes. You know, it's a good car. Got a good team, and it's fast. So you'll see that soon.
All right, and you are also the newest member of the Monster Army, is what I hear. Obviously, you got the swag to show it off. You got the new seat in there, pimping it. So, and the nickname of this car is the Black Mamba.
Yeah, that's come from the guys at Monster. So, you know, a lot of the guys are running like sick liveries and just hitting it really hard with all the different colours and stuff. But we just went flat, aggressive, hence the Black Mamba name. But it's good. It looks cool, and it's going to put on a good show.
Liam, definitely one of the sickest European rally drivers out there. He competed in a couple rounds of the Global Rally Cross Series a couple years ago, or about a year ago. The car didn't have the same livery; it was all red. But if you do a little YouTube search for him, Liam actually has one of the sickest rally cross takeovers of all time, hands down. Enters reverse entry, didn't even know where he was going. He's definitely the man. So, Liam, anything else? Any secret weapons that you have on this vehicle right now?
Yeah, being British. No, I've got no pressure. I'm the underdog, so got a lot of big names out here. Got to put on a good show for themselves and for their sponsors. But I'm the new guy. If I come last, I come last. But I'm definitely not going to. You know, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll take the pressure off myself, just enjoy it, and hit it really, really hard.
Is there anyone out there that you're really looking forward to smashing with?
Yeah, me and Tanner have got a little bit of rivalry in Europe. No, we're so close. He races in Europe full time with me, so we're so close. I'm looking forward to showing him how it's done out here.
All right, Liam Doran, car 33, the Citroen C4. Check it out. Back to you guys.
All right, Will, thank you. The man is everywhere right there. And we also want to pose to you guys, BMX bike is starting right now, so send in your request. Do you want us to switch and cover some BMX? Do you want us to stay with rally? You guys are controlling the show. And then, Mick, what about some questions in the meantime? What have the fans been asking for?
A lot of questions and comments. People are stoked on rally. They want to talk to Robbie Madison. So, Will, if you're down there, go find Maddo. Some big Maddo fans out there. And then another good question, what percentage of the track is actually dirt this year? And I don't know, maybe you can talk about the jump a little bit and how that works and how that's really not in your typical racetrack usually.
Sure, yeah. There's probably about only 25% of the track is dirt this time, and it's not your typical gravel. It's kind of like this construction grade gravel where it's a little bit different. In the past years in the Home Depot Center and the Coliseum, we've had real dirt, like the same stuff that the motocross guys were using, but this year it's different. and I think it's going to pose a challenge for some of the teams. That type of dirt, it's got kind of these big rocks, like kind of marble-sized rocks, and when the cars are sliding from the dirt out back onto the pavement, they're dragging these rocks back onto the pavement, and it ends up just being like marbles. And so the cars are really going to slide when they come off of the dirt. And that's always been a problem, but I think it's going to be even more of a problem this time.
And is there a way to set the car up differently than in the past to handle that, or is that just more the driver needs to take that into consideration?
Yeah, it's more the driver's going to need to take that into consideration, because you can't, it's such a small percentage of the track in those spots where all the transitions from dirt to back to the pavement, there's not that many times that you have to deal with that, and so changing the whole car setup just for that wouldn't really be good, and it would mostly be a tire choice.
You said last year there was more dirt and this year is less. I mean, does that favor any athletes more with the more pavement out there?
I'd say they're just changing their tire choices, and they've got they're on a very, very different tire this year than they have been in the past.
Okay.
And you know, that tire choice also affects what happens over the jump, because it's still a dirt jump, it's still a gravel jump, and luckily a lot of these drivers have had a chance this year to do these rally crosses that we've had in Irwindale and one in Seattle, and they're used to now being on this different tarmac tire, and they're now being, you know, they're going over these dirt jumps on this tarmac tire.
Right on. Well, I think Will's bugging people down there right before the race starts, so sorry to cut you off, but hey, if you ask, we will deliver. Will, I hear you're with Robbie Madison there, holding him up.
Yes, sir. I'm over here with Matto right now. He's got the sweet little Red Bull livery here on the Hyundai Veloster. Matto, this is your first time competing in rally. Are you ready for this, boss?
Yeah, I mean, I'm as ready as I'm going to be. I got no choice at this point, but I'm just going to go out there and just try and put in consistent, smooth laps. You know, I've seen a couple other guys hitting walls and stuff, so I don't want to be that guy. I want to keep the Veloster nice and straight, get through to tomorrow, but you know, I'm only a second off the pace so far, so go out there and be smooth is the goal.
All right, so Matto, this is you've been going through an intense training period of rally driving. I know you were down at the Dirtfish School. How does that transition from your motorcycle riding?
Yeah, I can hear Forrest Duplessis' voice going through my head. Turn in and keep it straight, manufacture those straights. It's a lot different than the bike for sure, you know, just, but I'm dealing with it, you know. A lot of it does cross over, so I think once it comes to rallycross and push comes to shove, the bike skills will definitely kick in.
Heck yeah, well, you guys heard it. Robbie Madison, Matto, he's definitely out here to kick some butt this weekend. He's got no issues here. Sweet new car, Hyundai Veloster, built by the guys from RMR. Back to you guys.
Right on, thank you, Will. And he didn't seem super confident in there. He was just like, hey, it's my first race. I mean, what is it like coming in here first race against this field X Games stage?
You know, that's got to be crazy. I mean, especially to see all of these different cars. Luckily, he is being put into a really, really nice car.
Of course.
And Reese is doing a lot of testing, and I think Reese is doing a little bit of mentoring with him. So they've done some testing, and he's been in there. There's these crazy stories about that the engine came from England, and it got stuck in customs. So it actually, that particular engine only got put in the car 2 days ago.
Wow.
So that they haven't really gotten to test on that particular car and that particular engine much. So at least he knows the car a little bit, but now he's kind of having to get used to that new engine too.
Well, I need a nice car. Somebody send me a car. My engine for sure did not get stuck in customs in my Jeep. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Cool.
Please stick around for a little bit. We're gonna have Aaron Ross come in now. You guys spoke, you wanted to see some BMX, so we're gonna go deliver that as well. And we'll come back with more rally in a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us.
And hey, Kier, just to touch on that, I mean, how cool is this? You guys asked us who you wanted to see, and we found him. Ask and you shall receive. We see a lot of Ken blocks too, so like Kier said, when we come back to rally, we're gonna try to find Ken and a lot of those other guys. But yeah, we're stoked on all the BMX action that is about to go down here at X Games on Saturday.
And let's get Aaron Ross in here. Where are you at, buddy? Come help us out. You guys at home, send in some questions, get some thoughts.
Yeah, we
How's it
got a
going?
lot of questions already coming in with Aaron. And speaking of a guy that I think uses Twitter more than any other athlete, you're looking at him right here. This guy is like the Twitter master. And Aaron, that's one of the things we're just connecting with our fans socially. Talk to us about Twitter because, like I said, I think you're pretty active on there.
Well, some would say I'm active. Some would say I just am really annoying. But I enjoy it. It's fun to talk to everyone. I think it's a pretty cool way to like openly chat with all your friends that you maybe don't talk to every day or like text every day or call every day. It's kind of like it's a little reminder of what everyone's doing, and then you can comment on it or whatnot. So when I travel a lot, so when I get on the road in a van or bus or whatever, I'm pretty good at Twittering a good amount throughout the day. But yeah, I enjoy it.
Should we, I mean, speaking of Twitter, should we start a little hashtag here? I mean, you want to start trending something to see if we can get a movement?
Oh man.
Anything come
I've never
to
been
mind?
very good at the hashtag thing.
Yeah,
I've always been trying to get the whole like fetch thing to happen. That's always been my joke.
Aaron,
from the
give
Mean
us a
Girls movie.
hashtag. We'll tweet it out. We'll tweet it out from the X Games Twitter account right now. So just give us a hashtag.
Oh,
and
man.
if you guys retweet it with some questions, we'll ask them. So you give us a hashtag, we'll tweet it right now.
I wouldn't even know what to say right now.
Say, blank-minded. Help me out.
There you go.
Hashtag blank-minded.
Hashtag like-minded.
Help
All
me
right,
come
there
up
it
with
is.
a hashtag.
Blank.
What is it?
Blank. Like he was lacking
blank.
anything to come from. It was.
All right, we're gonna tweet that right now. So
Well, while we're trying to figure out our hashtags and get that tweeted out, let's send it down to Daryl now, who's kind of like Will. He's in there digging in, trying to get the stories for us. Daryl, what do you have?
I'm Daryl Naw. I'm down here on the course right now. You could feel the energy building. They're doing the rider introductions right now. This is round one, finals elimination. This is my favorite part of the comp. You just feel it building, building, building in-house. Right now, they're just running through all the names. All the riders start getting psyched. You can see the crowd out here really getting pumped. We're getting ready to drop in with Brett Benisewicz in the first heat right now. You can see him out on the course. Yesterday he had some, in qualifying he had some problems with his bike, and he really is capable of a lot of tricks out there. And we're about to see right now, blasting through the course. It was super challenging the way he caught that quick transition. Whoa, huge double tail whip. That's so hard coming into that transition like that. Massive truck driver transfer. Big flare. He's got 15 seconds on the clock. This is what's going to make or break a run. Really solid run. See him not having the bike problems from the other day. The crowd is loving it. Slipped his pedals a little bit on that flare. Super solid run. He's got so much potential and capabilities out on this course. We're going to see it. Yesterday he had some bike problems, but back to you guys right now. We'll check in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Daryl. And Aaron, I mean, just kind of break down for us some of the strategies as we're here in round one that these, athletes will be facing or thinking.
Well, going first is always kind of a headache because you don't really want to be the one that sets the bar, but then you kind of do. But it's definitely hard. I'm actually going first tomorrow in my event, which I found out yesterday, so it's kind of like, oh man. But
I don't really want to do it, but
you don't want to be the first one, really. But at least it's jam format, so as soon as you start going, and then they go through the round, you're no longer really first. You're just in a mix of 5 guys. You just actually are starting it. So everyone gets to look at you first, and when you mess up, it's really all on you,
So do you play like mental lie games? I would always lie to myself, you paint the picture how you want it.
No, I don't really ride very many contests, so I'm not very good at it. I don't really care. I do care because obviously you want to do good, but it's street riding's so crazy because you have these ideas in your head, and every year I've gotten stuck on tricks really hard. I have this idea and I'm gonna do it. It's the only trick I want to do the entire time because I know I can do it, and that's my goal not to do this year. That's my goal. So these guys, Park's a little different since it all runs into different ramps and everything. These guys are very good at riding contests, and they're very good at running into other ramps and doing new stuff. So it's fun to watch.
I'll be checking it out tomorrow. Yeah. For you guys at home, we're going to show you some rally footage, but we're still going to talk BMX. So if you're watching on TV, our stories will still be relevant to what you're seeing on the TV. But if you want to glance in and see Ken Block practicing, you'll be able to get that done as well. And just maybe set up some of these competitors here. Who are some of the favorites that you see being able to make it out of this round and then into the finals?
Well, who all's in this round? Let's see. All right, here we go. Well, Gary Young and Dennis Anderson are two people that can really ride anything at all. And Gary just took his run, and it was awesome. He's always been good at showing up and making a course look like his own, like the day of. Dennis is one of those people that can literally ride anything. Yeah. And then you have Daniel, he's won twice, I think. And he can adapt to anything, and he has big tricks, which everyone knows Dennis has big tricks. So, I mean Daniel, sorry. Well, everyone has big tricks. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how everyone really adapts in the finals, because it's always, with the more pressure, it always gets pretty hard. And then Brett, of course, he's the young gun for BMX, and he's really been inventing new tricks and just perfecting things. So it should be interesting. All these guys have that. Every single guy in these 10 can win this contest. So it just depends on how it goes together for them.
As we see Daniel there finishing up his run, I mean, just maybe break down for the people at home the difference in style with Gary Young and then, you know, the almost complete opposite of Daniel Dares.
Exactly, yeah. Well, with Gary, you have someone that can ride the course the way it's built, and then someone like Daniel is more of someone that is doing crazy tricks that maybe some people have never done or something along those lines. And then you have Gary, who rips around the bowl corners. He kind of rides it like an old school like skateboarder would, like, you know, really hauling ass, just doing a bunch of that. So it's kind of crazy to see the two of them.
And what's the feedback been from the course so far? We have a lot of people tweeting in that they're actually at the event. What's been the response from the athletes as far as the flow and some of the features?
People have really loved it. I think it took the first few days, it took a little getting used to, because it was a little tight, everyone said. But then once you get used to anything, nothing becomes like that anymore. And like they definitely have been. He just did a front flip, so he's on it right now. Yeah, I think it takes a few people a little while to get used to it. You know, like people come from other contests where you ride a lot of wood, or some of these guys don't ride so much concrete, so they get here and they're a little nervous. But once, after, you know, you get a few days of practice, after all that, you really get used to the fact that concrete's, you know, just a little bit different. You know, that's good.
Well, as we said, we're showing you the rally, but we're also talking BMX. Aaron wanted some help here, so remember, hashtag blankminded.
Help me pick out something. What do you want to see trending?
Yeah, fill this in, ask us some questions. We got a mastermind.
Should we just get X Games trending?
You know, we actually hit a couple trending topics.
Really? Already today?
Yeah.
All right, wow.
There's been a lot of buzz out there.
Good.
And if you want to, you know what? Here's the first question for Aaron Ross. And by the way, if you want to follow Aaron on Twitter, it's at the Aaron Ross. That's
follow
2
me.
A's, 2 S's.
Yep.
Kush Agra 5196. That's an interesting one.
Good one.
How many years does it take to become a pro BMX rider like you at the Aaron Ross? Hashtag Blankmind.
Oh man. I've been riding since I was like 11 or 12. I'm 24 now, and I've been, I guess, professional since I was 18, almost 19. And but then you have people that are those weird people that can turn pro in 3 years after riding. And, you know, it's different. However, you know, whatever you can do and where you get out there is how it happens. Like there's a super famous professional bike rider, Edwin De La Rosa. He was like huge after 3 years of riding. You know, and then there's people that have been riding their whole lives and become huge when they're 30. Like it depends on, you know, when you hit your peak, I guess.
Was there a moment where it clicked? A lot of athletes, I mean, even for me in snowboarding, it's like it clicked. And it was like, holy, it's
happening all right
there.
Yeah,
like a boom, done.
Mine was pretty straightforward. There's something called Props Road Fools in BMX, and it's a huge deal. And I was in high school. I actually missed my high school graduation to go on the trip, and it was like, that was kind of like the start. That was such a big deal. That kind of like, if it was going to start at any time, it was going to start then. And luckily, it was one of those ones where it started and it's still going on, instead of one where it started and it just kind of like, oh, that was it, didn't work. So thank you guys for inviting me on that. And yeah, it's kind of just been going on since then. So some people have, like, you know, after a good video part, they become very, you know, kids attached to it and they become famous or whatever, or well known. And depends. Everything's different. Like contest riders, like there's the kid who won the Do Tour last weekend. I've never heard of him, and then he wins, and, you know, and then it's just like, he's here this weekend, he's killing, he's in the top 10, and now you just have this whole, like, you know, I think it just depends on what side of the sport you're in.
Like Mitchie Brusco last night, you know, it's like,
exactly.
I heard Sal talking about, it's like 9 years old and he's hanging out. He's like, oh, I could ride that. And Sal's like, dude, you're 9. And then 5 years later, it's like, yo, I was that kid, and now I'm here.
Doing a 900.
Yeah, it was
like that's pretty cool. Like, it's cool to see a little kid, like when you watch Skateboard Park, it's cool to watch little kids shred the bowl. Like, they're 35-year-old dudes that did it when they were riding pools only.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that style, so it's cool.
It was funny last night. I was watching with Mitchie too, because you brought up earlier about the mentality, and it seemed like he definitely ran into the I'm 14, I'm at X Games, I'm not really thinking, where you're just like, yo, do you have any coaches or friends out there like to smack them and be like, hey, what are you doing? Focus, because you brought that up about just entering into your contest. So are you approaching it with a certain mentality?
I'm just gonna go out there and try to have fun, man. Like, it's a street course. We ride street every day. It's a really good street course, so it kind of makes you feel at home. You're kind of under the wall of things, so you kind of don't see much. And everyone's friends out there are completely different, and we want to see each other do good things, and you want to see the sport progress. So you're excited to see people do good. So you're kind of just all hanging out, and no one's wanting you to fall. No one's wanting you to do bad. So that makes it a little easier. You're just out there hanging out. And especially we've had 4 or 5 days of practice now, so everyone's really familiar with the course. You kind of just feel like you're sessioning with your friends. So it's been really good.
Well, you'd made the claim earlier on in the show, and Dennis looks like he's sitting on top right now with Daniel behind him. And what is the, you know, you had spoke about Dennis earlier. I mean, what is it about his style or the way he approaches a park that allows him to be in first right now?
The one thing about Dennis that's awesome is any course Dennis rides, he adapts. He's someone that, like, if he rides dirt, he adapts. If he rides park, he adapts. And then he's also one of the best street riders there is. He's just so good at riding bikes. He has so much confidence in what he's trying to do that he can just show up and, like, try it. And then once he gets the one scary run out of his way, it's all, he can try whatever he wants after that. So I know he was not liking the course a ton at first because he was kind of felt lost. And then I think 2 days ago he found a line, and he just, like, as soon as he found that line, it was just like all the tricks fell into place and he qualified first. It was like that. So, you know, Dennis has a good chance of winning this whole thing.
Well, make sure for you guys at home, remember, hey, you can control the content. If you want to see BMX, let us know. If you want to ask Aaron some questions, if you want to get some insight of what he thinks as far as some of these athletes, you know,
who do you want to know something about?
Blank-minded.
I'll give you the answer.
And we'll make it up. If we don't know it, we'll pretend like we do. Mick, do we got anything right now?
Yeah, we got some good questions, and you know, just to throw it back out there, you guys are hopefully watching ESPN and ABC, and then we are really the behind-the-scenes look. And if you're just watching us, turn on the TV. And we did have a lot of questions, actually, one just came in from Stephen Smith from Orange, California. Aaron Ross, what would you rather ride, dirt, park, or street?
I'd go with street. I think it's, personally, it's something that's like, I get to be real creative. Every spot's different. Every ledge is a different height. Every rail slide's different. It's just one of those things, like, as much as something might look the same, it's always different. It's fun to just get out there and figure out what you can do. Like, you could see 2 spots and look at them completely different than the person you're riding with. They look at something like, I didn't even see that, and you're like, I didn't even see what you're doing. I think it's you know, kind of like an art form. You just go out there and you do what you can do. So, yeah.
The creativity factor.
The creativity factor is huge, and I think that makes anything fun. People who ride park, they love going to the newest, craziest parks because they want to ride something they've never ridden. And that goes for any sport. I think Pete trails, like dirt, anything. They just want to see what's out there.
Aaron, here's and now just a lot of questions coming in. To kind of switch gears a little bit, maybe more to the lifestyle of the rich and famous BMX. Since rally's going on, a lot of these people are asking about different types of cars, and so what's your whip like? Or are you what do you like on 4 wheels when you're not on 2?
Oh man, I drive a 4Runner, and I think I'm okay at driving. I think I haven't got a ticket in like a year. I think I've been pretty lucky the last year, so yeah. So I know Scotty Kramer just bought a Lambo. Yeah. So Scotty Kramer's doing pretty good.
Getting paid right there. Yeah. Wow.
So good for Scotty Kramer.
You see him really digging in deep trying to make this.
Yeah, he's trying to make this happen. I asked him if I could get a ride in, and he said, of course. And I go, can we do a burnout? And he goes, I don't know, it's 4-wheel drive. And I go, come on, man, it's a Lambo. It goes 400 or it goes 200 miles an hour. You can do a burnout. And he was like, okay, we'll try. I was like, all right.
Yeah, just don't, Sean put his into a tree pretty early on, so hopefully Scotty's got a little better skills.
Gary Young races cars a little. He has a I don't know exactly
BMW.
what car he has. Yeah, BMW.
Qualcomm.
But he goes to the track a lot and races.
Yeah.
So a few of these guys are into the fast car deals. So that's cool.
It's a good point too, because I feel like there's so much crossover now. You have guys like Sean that is touching rally a little bit, and like you just said.
Is it officially rally? No one really knew. I've heard rumor. I don't know what is he actually trying to drive. Is it a rally car?
I think he's just trying to drive those BF Goodwrench tires.
Anything with BF Goodwrench tires.
Let's just be realistic here. I don't know if he's really pursuing it.
He can pursue whatever he wants. Daniel Dares. Daniel Dares came to Austin, Texas recently. That's where I live, and there's a ramp, a super famous ramp there, and everyone was kind of interested to see how he would ride it, because it's a real crazy ramp and well known, and really you don't get a lot of people like him that show up like contest riders or something, and he adapted so well that we were all like, whoa, like really surprised, and really it was really awesome to see someone like at his level come in and ride something that's so different than what he's used to and completely kill it. It was really cool.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's very good. He's a cool guy too, so it's good.
Well, we're looking at Daniel Dares right now, and I think we're going to do one of our rewinds where we go back and check out his run. So hopefully you can talk us through this run, what you see is good or bad.
Well, right now he's about to roll in. That's really good because that other tranny comes up really quick, and I've seen a few people like they'll do a trick down it and they just run into the tranny. So what he's doing there is awesome. That is really crazy out of pool coping.
I mean, when for Daniel, he's always looking pretty much flow, but then show me where I can get a big trick in, right?
Exactly. Like he puts together pretty good lines, but he always finds a place to do a big trick. That is what this course is really about for someone with his style. Like you have the other style of someone like Gary Young who is gonna like rip around the bowl and he runs into things. And Daniel does a really good job of finding somewhere else to do tricks. It's not the same spot repeatedly, and that really separates him from the others in a contest like this.
Well, in pleasing both BMX and rally, let's send it down the wheel with Dylan Van Way to see what he's up to.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm down here in the pits of the 600 car, Mr. Dylan Van Way. Now, Dylan Van Way is typically a two-wheel drive champion in the Rally America National Championship, but he's here. He made it to X Games by running all the global rallycross events, and he had to get an all-wheel drive car. He came all the way out from Louisiana, test drove a car, got down a few practice sessions, and then what happened, Dylan?
Oh, well, it all went bad. We blew an engine, couldn't quite get it fixed in time, so we went and found another car, a rally car out here in California. It was kind of a last-minute deal, but it's been awesome to be here. And I mean, we're not in the ideal car. We're just in a regular rally car, so we're way heavier and way down on power compared to the other guys. But it's awesome just to be here and driving, and we're definitely having a lot of fun.
X Games 17. I'm so stoked that you're here. Dylan was the youngest competitor in our season for a long time, and now he's here. Now, of course, the car isn't up to par, like you just said. This is not a full-on rallycross car. This is a stage rally car. It's a lot heavier. It's got a lot more safety devices in it. And you want to walk me through it a little bit? Want to show me what you got going on the insides of this car that you know about?
Yeah, I don't really know that much, but the big thing is, we've got a lot of extra weight, a lot of extra pieces of roll cage that the rally cross cars don't have to have. And then we're also down on power because they're running a lot more boost than we are. And this, like you said, we borrowed this from a guy, so we have to turn it back. So we return it back to him, so we can't blow it up. But I'm really not an expert on, I mean, you can see the computer and things like that, but I'm not an expert on what makes them that different other than the power. But, got to give a huge shout out to Langworks for letting us use their car and, Tuning Technologies for making it as fast as we can for this weekend.
Well, heck yeah, it's absolutely a pretty sweet little beast you got going on here. Of course, like you mentioned, it's not a rallycross vehicle. This is stage rally. This is metal. So the bumping and grinding is...
In the doors on this one, we still have all the internals. I mean, we still have glass windows. None of these other cars even have anything structurally in the doors. They have all plastic windows. So, little bits of weight everywhere. But for a rally car, this car is awesome, and the weight doesn't matter as much. You got to make it last a lot longer. These cars are so tuned for 4 or 6 laps. they're a little bit unreliable if you wanted to go for a long ways, but so hopefully our strategy is let's wait them out, and hopefully they get in a tangle, and we'll take whatever little bit we can.
Pass them during the little mangle that they may get up in. Now, obviously your first time at X Games and your first time competing in the all-wheel drive car, is there anybody out there, any drivers out there you've really been looking to go door to door with?
I think it would be awesome to go with Joseph Burke. He's another young guy, and we're both, in rival colleges, so it'll be pretty cool to go with him. And it's just an honor to be on the list with guys like Marcus Gronholm and Tanner Faust, and those are guys that I've looked up to for a long time. When I was growing up watching rallies, Gronholm was winning them, so it's just cool to be on my name on the same list as his. So I'm just excited to be here.
All right, well, DVW, Dylan Van Way, come check it out. He's in the 600 Evo. Back to you, Kira.
Right on. Thank you, Will. Thank you. And I think Dylan owes you a thank you as well. He looked like he was falling asleep before the interview and now woken up. But just take a look at Matto, looking like he's getting himself into maybe a little trouble here.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he wasn't feeling the most confident.
I think we should do these interviews from inside a rally car.
Yeah,
we should get like a little hatchback one, and we'll just jump in the back. We'll all sit there, computer, this dude, and it'll be good.
Hey, Chrissy Beebe style. They're back on course right now, but like I said, Robbie Madison not looking extremely confident coming into this. But
that looked like an expensive mistake as well.
Any mistake here is expensive, I believe. So I kind of heard rumor. I guess Travis is trying to drive a car now.
Yeah, he's got a new steering rig. Weren't you watching the show earlier on? I mean, come on, seriously, you don't come on to our show and not
I came earlier to watch a BMX park practice,
all right.
So I missed a little of it. I saw a little sitting here, but I couldn't understand anything he was saying because there was no volume, and I'm not that good at reading lips. So
yeah, he's got a pretty sick setup. So he's doing all throttle up here just to
So is it more like a motorcycle, which he's pretty good at?
So like this.
Yeah. All right. He's not too bad at a motorcycle, I guess, huh?
What?
He knows how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, he's okay.
All right, cool.
Let's maybe just talk a little bit, Dennis Aronson again, and break down him as an athlete as he qualified now into the finals, and he's going to go up against Ryan Nyquist or whoever comes out of that second round.
Okay. Yeah, Dennis. I watched some of his runs, and he just has a flow that with the craziest tricks. He's doing 2 different pocket airs, I think, that no one is touching, and then he did it a bunch in practice, and then in qualifying he just threw a tail open, and we were just of course, and he got out of it, pulled it perfect, and he just does a bunch of really big scary tricks, and he can shred it like a real skate park bowl should be rode, so it's good.
What about the course? Me, I ride a bike and escape, but not very good, but it just seems like it's almost set up better for skateboarding. I mean, are the tight trannies, does it help you? Does it hurt you? To them it's kind of all the same?
They were saying some of them are a little tight because they would come into a bowl corner with a lot of speed, but the quarter was a little smaller, a little tighter, so they would have to end up slowing down a bunch to keep the speed instead of maybe going over the top or sliding out or something. But that was the first few days, and then now it seems like everyone has gotten comfortable with figuring it out, and it seems that everyone is really comfortable now, and yeah,
figuring it out.
There's only a few people that still look a little lost, but everyone did some good homework and got some lines, so it's good.
Well, someone that's doing good is Dennis. Let's send it down to Daryl and see what he's got for us.
Welcome back. Thank you, boys. We are here. That was round 1, heat 1 in the bag, park finals, X Games 17. It is my pleasure to be here with their top seed qualifier, Dennis Anderson, tearing it up out on that course. Walk me through your runs.
I don't know. It's a sick bowl. It's what I grew up riding, stuff like this. So I just wanted to ride it like normal, like I ride every day, and it feels good. Me and Gary ride together every day, so it kind of shows how we're riding out there, I guess.
That's so awesome. 2 brothers on the course coming in 1 and 2. What things should we be looking for in the finals?
Well, we got to watch this next group. They're all going to be insane too, but the finals is going to be hopefully same thing with even more tricks and more speed. It's going to be sick to watch.
That's so awesome. We can't wait. Dennis, I'm going to watch with you. Boys, back to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thanks, dude. All right, thank you, Daryl. Thanks for locking them in there. And like I said, I just want to ride every day.
Yeah.
Again, lie to yourself. I'm not at X Games. I'm just hanging out with my friends.
That's the best way to look at it. Because if you put too much stress on yourself, you're not gonna you're gonna stress out. Like, you know, if you put too much pressure on yourself, and these guys, if you just come out here and take it like we're all at skate park one night, that's the best way to do it.
It was funny. I was talking to Jamie Bestwick last night, right before his final runs, and he's like, "Yeah, everyone says like come in here to have fun," but he's like, "Am I really having fun right now? Like I'm lying to myself. I'm like, it's not stress. It's not." He's like, "But in reality, like the 5P people throw it out there like it's something easy, but it's, dude, he's like, it's not. Like you could see the mental lying."
I think with someone like him, like I could see that like he's been here so many times, he's done it so many times. You have so much other stuff going on this year. He had a rough beginning of this year, like with some wrecks and stuff and injuries. That I think the last thing on his mind is a 5P. I think the one thing is most important is get through a contest and like, you know, to be back on his bike and have fun. So I think when everybody else is putting something in your mind, it grows and grows and grows. When he shows up and he's like, "Oh wait, I've done this 5 times," you know, like or 4 times now.
Like, you're that good, you're gonna make it happen. But hey, I think we got Will's got Ken Block down in the pits. So what's Mr. Block up to?
All right, guys, so check it out. I'm here over by the hybrid function Hoon vehicle. That's right. This is Ken Block, and this is the number 43 vehicle. Ken, back at X Games, here we go again, and you got a sick new vehicle. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm really ready. We've had a few little problems this morning, but I'm ready to get at it. Course is amazing. Just stoked to be down here in LA on the city streets with a great little course, so can't wait.
Oh, it's absolutely going to be insane. I know you got to go to practice, but follow him all day. Ken Block, number 43, the Monster Energy Drink, 2012 Ford Fiesta, the HV vehicle, the hybrid function Hoon vehicle. Absolutely insane. This car will be in the new Gymkhana series, Gymkhana 4. The absolutely sick. Back to you guys.
All right, Will, thank you for that. Is he having trouble starting his car right there? He said a few problems. Is it going? Is it going? And we'll be checking out his qualifying lap. Again, showing you some footage that you don't see on TV.
Yeah, and Kier, speaking of that, Jacob Hubble, we just wrapped a present and gave it to you. The whole time this guy was essentially spamming the wall. Ken Block, Ken Block, Ken Block. There you go, buddy. Only on XCast. So yeah, it looks like Ken's about to take another little lap here too for all the Ken Block fanboys and girls out there.
Hey, you ask, we deliver. I mean, Aaron, just talk to us about Ken Block. I mean, you think you know him from one way and then all of a sudden...
He is a pretty amazing driver. All those commercials and all those videos he does, I think I have enough confidence that I'd stand there and let him like high-five me with a mirror or something. Like, you know, like I'd stand there and just not even move and just let him like do a little donut and high-five me with a mirror and just go on his way. It takes a lot to be good at driving a car, I think, so.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said from the videos, the control of like knocking watermelons out of your hand,
Exactly. Would you stand there first try?
No, I mean,
practice?
I like Ken and everything, but we're not that tight.
Okay, you don't know if he has enough care for you.
Yeah. And
I understand.
You know, another athlete, Dave Mira.
Dave Mira, he
the most X Games gold medals of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Or something.
Yeah. Who's even close? I'm glad that BMX has that record.
Andy McDonald is pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he is still killing it too.
And he's still out there.
Aaron, we got a question from you here too with the blank hashtag blank minded. This is a good one actually. How do you deal with all the injuries and how do you domain the fear of hurting yourself? Hope to go to Colombia someday.
Yeah, domain the fear. He's going to Colombia for
domain
sure.
the fear. And you just have to. I think you just grow up doing it for so long, you just get used to the fact that that's part of it. When you hit the ground, you are already prepared for the consequences, if it's, you know, a 5-minute injury to a no injury to a 3 months to whatever it may be, and I think that's part of it. And we wouldn't all still be here if we gave up, you know, years ago. So I think, and then trying new tricks and getting back on the bike, it's just a matter of like, I just want to do that trick. I want to accomplish it for myself. And that's kind of how Travis the other night, like, tries the 360 backflip 720 or whatever it was exactly, and then he goes right back and tries it again for something that doesn't even count anymore. I think it's just that is the like love and the like the passion that you want to do something so bad that you're like, you know what, I don't even care if I win, I don't care if I lose, I don't care what happens, but I'm doing this right now. And I think that's what we all grew up, you grow up with. And
there should be like a handbook that someone gives you, and it's like, hey,
this
we're
is
signing up for this career. Here's the surgeries.
Need to
here's
hand
the
it to moms
pictures.
when they're like when their kids are getting into it when they're like 9. They'll be like, yeah, these are all the possibilities, and enjoy.
welcome to the family.
And just to throw it back out there, today it's literally all BMX, skateboard, street, and rally action on ESPN, ABC, ESPN3.com. If you got one of these, you can download the Watch ESPN app, watch it on here, and of course, XCast, us live right now on xgames.com. And we got more questions. I don't know. Should we go to another question?
Well, I think Daryl doing his thing is down there getting a report on Gary Young, and then let's come back and get some questions. Daryl, what do you have for us?
Thank you, guys. We're right down. It's a rolling boil. We are in heat number 2, round 1 eliminations. We just went through the first round of guys. We're back at the top. Nyquist is out on the course throwing huge double bar spins. He's got 7 seconds left. Big 360 transfer. Smooth one hand. That was awesome. Ryan's been tearing it up. His first run, he went down a little bit, but he was doing massive double bar spin 540s on that quarter. It's super heated. I had a chance to talk to Gary Young. He was really psyched on his run. I was talking to he and Dennis, actually, and they both ride together all the time. It was so cool that they finished in the 1 and 2 seeded position. But again, it's anyone's game for that 3rd place spot. Diogo is ripping. You can see behind me, super smooth. He really is out there tearing it up, but you saw Gary Young was on that course using every single obstacle and square inch out there. He was grinding that plexiglass, doing downside double peg grinds, downside ice picks. It's such a challenging trick. And he also actually, in that corner that Diogo was right there, he did a downside double peg grind around the corner. That's so challenging to do, but these guys are tearing it up right here. The action is so heated. We're running through their 2nd run right here. You can see Garrett out on the course doing that massive tail whip around the pocket. And look, there's that 540 double bar. Garrett and I had a chance to talk before the comp. He's super psyched. He just started his new bike company, Fiend. He's been riding a lot. Contest season's just starting, and he's having fun out here. He's going for the 4-peat tomorrow in a park. He's got 3 golds already, and I'm sorry, in street, and he's going to try to do it again in street. So he's having a good time on the course, and he knows that tomorrow's another thing. But right here, this is one of the most stylish riders in the world, Chase Hawk. Chase. Just having a great time out on that ramp. Chase has no brakes on his bike, and he just floats around the park like it was meant for him. You're seeing minimal tricks out there as far as feet and limbs coming off, but look at that beautiful style, just carving. He's so carefree. I actually got a chance to hang out in Chase's room yesterday. We spent about 2 hours hanging up talking, and he was telling me about the new skate park in Austin, Texas that's concrete, and he's been able to ride it and kind of get some runs in like this. Great run by Chase Hawk. I'm going to throw it back to you guys right now, and we'll check in a little bit.
As we're watching Chase Hawk here, maybe explain to us for the people at home. It was like, I didn't see as many tail whips or as many flips. I mean, what is so difficult about finding the lines in the flow of the course?
Chase is one of those people also that, like, when he shows up at a park, his first run looks like he's been riding it for a year. Nobody in BMX has style like Chase. He's been a well-known bike rider since he was, 12 years old. And I've lived with Chase for a few years in Texas, and we've always had a lot of fun together, but we ride complete opposite. I could jump something, and I will make it look like I'm trying, and Chase will jump it for his first time and make it look like it is the easiest thing in the world. But Chase isn't a big trick person, and watching something like this, you can see that, like, when you watch him shred, he's 4 feet higher, 5 feet higher, he is doing things so much higher than other people, farther, bigger, and he just has, the best style in BMX.
Do you think it's harder to learn tricks and integrate that into his style, or someone like Daniel Dares to learn the flow?
You could ride bikes your whole life and you'll never look like Chase. Yeah. Chase could go and play in a foam pit or go to Woodward, and he could learn tricks. He's an amazing bike rider, and he does have some trouble with some tricks, but...
And here's Chase's run as we're talking about. I'm not sorry to cut you off, but talking about the flow there.
He just has that style of, like, he goes fast, and he just, he does stuff that no one else can really just do. Like, I could ride a ramp, I could ride trails every day for a month, and I still won't make it look as good as his first run. And and like, you know, I know how to ride a bike. I've ridden bikes for years, and my style and his style is just so much different.
Yeah, we hate those kind of people. It's like Terry Hawkinson
Exactly.
or Nicholas Mueller on a snowboard. It's like, really?
True.
Just
There's
leave
people
me
that are just
alone.
gifted with that, like, this is easy look. You know, maybe it's hard for him, I don't know, but nothing looks very hard for him. But, you know, this course fits him perfect. There's a few people that these courses fit perfect, and he is one that, like, any course like this, he can make his own very quickly.
Hey,
and you can see in his riding.
Speaking of adapting, Aaron, here's a good question via Twitter with our famous hashtag now blankminded. Do most BMXers just ride BMX, or do they go out on fixies, road bikes, mountain bikes, etc.?
There's a lot of BMXers that, you know, like I myself race. There's a lot of BMXers that ride road bikes. There's a lot of BMXers that skateboard, mountain bike. I can't say that there's a lot that ride fixed gears. I know there is some, of course, and they ride them to get from point A to point B. But if you grow up riding a BMX bike, you want to do tricks on a BMX bike. A fixed gear bike is something, like, I think for someone that's never ridden a bike before, that's cool. Go learn how to do tricks on it.
You do live in Austin, Texas.
I do,
so
and there was a lot of fixed gears in Austin,
Texas.
I don't myself own a fixed gear. I couldn't. I think fixed gear bikes are for someone that didn't grow up riding bikes with a free will. If you get into bike riding on a fixed gear right when you start, like that's your first bike you ever rode, you get used to it. If you've ridden BMX for years and years and years, and you want to get into riding a fixed gear bike, you're like pedaling down the street, and you're like, oh, curb, I want to stop pedaling, and you just like ride over the bars, because your instinct is like, I can stop pedaling whenever I want, and it's really hard to change that. But I'm not a big fan of fixed gears. I think it's cool for commuting and whatnot. I think the best trend in the last 5 years is probably fixed gears, though, because it's good to get people on a bike and get out there and active instead of like, you know, whatever other trends were going on clothes-wise and whatnot. So it's a good trend for the world.
That was, you know,
This is a green trend, right?
Yeah,
Very green.
Yeah, you were keeping it very politically correct in that as well. I like the dancing.
It was good.
Well, you know, we're not rally experts here, but you guys
Not
want
at
to
all.
see Ken Block's rally seating run. Let's try to get a look at this. Maybe we'll break it down for you too from a very uneducated point of view. He's going really fast.
He's going really fast. There's a lot of dirt. Whoever has to sweep that up, that's a bummer.
Now we're into the pavement section.
So
This
are they
is where
racing?
This is where I excel.
Are they racing, or is this still practice?
I hope
These are
that's not a
seeding
race.
runs, I think. I think they're. This is to figure out, you know, when and where they start. But by the way, streets of LA right here. Like, when's the last time they shut down the streets of LA for a rally race? That's insane.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour on Figueroa. That was like me
Do
last
these cars
Saturday.
go 100?
Yeah, 100.
I mean, I know they can. I just didn't know if this
0
course
to
was
60
something.
in 2 seconds.
2 seconds?
From what we've heard, yeah.
I can't even like get out of a chair in 2 seconds. These guys are going 60 miles an hour.
There's some G-force right there.
All right, well, Ken.
That looks rough.
Yeah, I hope this isn't a seating run.
No, he'd be trying a little harder right there, I believe. He's in the car. Is that the car? Oh, that's a bike lane. He was in the bike lane.
Nice.
I wonder if Travis was to win, is it an advantage that he knows how to ride a motorcycle better than driving a car, and that it's more like a motorcycle at this point? And like, is that sort of cheating?
I don't know. Well, his analogy.
That's a reasonable question,
His
right?
analogy was
Totally.
like playing a video game where they change the buttons on you.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
I think that's pretty.
It's pretty hard. That's
Yeah.
like going from like a PlayStation controller to an Xbox controller.
Exactly.
You can't
You don't
do
wanna
that
do
in
that.
one day. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's very good at riding a motorcycle sometimes, or all the time, or for the last 10 years. And you know, rally car's been what, the last few years. So I mean, he should probably adapt pretty well.
Well,
we'll see.
We will.
Will, you down there? We can maybe talk a little bit about Ken and bring us up to speed on some things.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. I do have some stuff on Ken Block. Now, as he mentioned earlier, they were having some minor issues this morning. Now, the car, the hybrid function Hoon vehicle, has it's got 3 different functions, and it all runs off the same computer. So last weekend they were having some issues getting the computer settings proper, and I think that's the same issue that they were running into this morning. But it seems to be dialed in. We just saw Ken fly across, and so I moved my way over here to Nate Connolly's pit, and we're going to go talk to him, see what he's doing. He's, of course, working on the car. They were having some minor issues, and I think there's something to do with the axles. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to grab Nate here as soon as he's got a free second. Of course, Nate getting down on the car, working on his own car. You got to give it up for the privateers. Nate, how's your weekend going so far, and what happened to your car?
Nah, we had first practice run or qualifying run, broken axle first lap, so we're going to probably pair it up against the fastest guy, which we'll take. At least we know we're going to stand against the fastest guy. So fun and games. We broke one of the reinforced axle bars. We tried to get in the car to handle more horsepower, but those didn't work, so we're going back all stock. We know those work, so we're going to put all stock axles in the car right now and give her hell.
All right, now you should have been at X Games 14, had a little bit of an issue at Pikes Peak, but you're here now, your first time at X. What's it like? Is this larger than life? Or?
No, this is the best weekend ever. I mean, if we would have made it in 08, it was going to be the coolest thing ever, but now knowing that we lost the opportunity due to the tragic accident and everything else, and now making it back is making it that much more realistic and the coolest thing in the world, because we have so much support between us with the sponsors, BFG, Mishimoto, everybody. It's just insane. And Revolutions, they built an awesome car for a cheap man's budget, purely the cheapest car out here, and if we can hang, then bring it.
All right, and what's it like driving on the streets of Los Angeles on Figueroa, the mainest street in Los Angeles? What's it like?
Oh, it's so cool. Just being able to race through the streets and, just keep the car sideways. I mean, that's a kid's dream. It's just like any of the video games, and that's the coolest part. More jumps. That's all I ask for, more jumps.
All right, he wants to go more extreme. Nate Connolly, check him out, the 116. He's getting his car back together. He's going to be kicking it. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Will, and we're going to jump from one pit down to another with Daryl, and I think he's got a little information for us down there with Gary Young. Hey, Daryl, what do you got?
All right, I'm here right now with Gary Young, ripping it up in the first course. Tell me, we're sitting here, we're about to watch the last of the guys in heat number 2 in the ready to go to the finals. What is going on inside your head right now?
Trying to catch my breath. It's not very warm out there, but once you get on the course, just been sweating. It's like a sweat box. So just trying to catch my breath and watch my friends shred.
That's awesome. You mentioned friends, and I know that you and Dennis happen to ride together a lot. How does that feel to be out there with your brothers out on the course?
There's not a better feeling, man. It just feels like another day, out shredding our local parks and spots, because we're always out there just having fun, pushing each other, and so this time we just happen to be pushing each other in front of millions of people.
That's so awesome. Describe to me the strategy going into the final.
Basically, you want to shred, and a little bit of shred gnar, and have fun. Those are the 3 key ingredients.
Now that you're sitting here and you see the guys just wrapped up, is there any specific preparation going into the final?
No. Just hopefully be able to put out what's in my head. I got some ideas that I haven't done yet, and hope they work out.
That's so real. Gary, I'm lost for words. Get over here. Seeing Gary ride, he leaves me speechless. He's one of the most amazing riders on the course. It's such a treat. I love that he's going to be in the final. Thank you for your time. Gary, myself, along with everyone, is going to be cheering you on. Do your thing and have fun out there. It's so apparent when you're on the bike.
Appreciate it, Daryl.
Thanks again, Gary. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Daryl. And Aaron, talk about just the advantage you talked about with the judging. It was a disadvantage being the first heat, but is there an advantage to being in the first heat to be able to take a rest before the finals?
Yeah, I don't know how long the wait is between the finals and it, but yeah, there is, of course. It's hot out here. You get to rehydrate, sit down, and then you can think of what you did wrong or to improve your run. You get to watch all the guys other runs, so you can maybe steal some stuff from them. And yeah, there's definitely an advantage going either way. But at the same time, the guys in the second heat are more warmed up to go for the finals than when the first heats, muscles get a little tired, sit down. So there's a bunch of ways to look at it all.
Gary didn't seem like he was really too on the strategy or preparation tip anyway. The shred gnar fun. So for all you guys at home with the coaches and the training, maybe just
I think Gary did a good job. He stuck to his he did what his plan was. He had some fun. He definitely shredded. He's in the finals, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know who all made the finals.
So
but
Daniel Dares is trending right now on Facebook, Twitter.
On Twitter worldwide.
Twitter worldwide. So you guys are not helping us with the blank-minded.
Let's get me trending. That's what we need to do.
But big ups to Daryl, to Daniel for trending on
Daniel Dares,
that's
yeah,
pretty,
trending.
that's
There's
legit.
so much activity right now, and let's get creepy real quick.
Okay.
Aaron Ross is on Facebook.
I am on Facebook.
We're not going to tell you what his private Facebook page is if he has one, but he does have a public page. It's Aaron Ross, and I was actually just cruising through some of the photos, some interesting photos, and they looked like a sun-kissed shoot, something out of like
that's
Asia or
that's
something.
That's my new bike colorway is a sun-kissed orange, that crazy bike, and I built. There's a few of us. My team manager and I, we built some giant sun-kiss and bottles, and we shot a wild ad. If you can see, one's exploding. So it's pretty eventful.
What is the mindset? I mean, you're always bringing a nice flavor element to the bikes and expressing yourself through your frames and the color.
It's fun to shoot those ads. I think it's fun to do something a little different. It's the bikes are fun to ride. The color is more or less just something I can play with doing an ad. We get to do a fun, wild ad like that. Or I've done some other ads where you build an ad around a bike. There's a theme to them. Like I had a watermelon bike, a picnic bike, all these weird bikes. But kids really latch onto it, and they're like, I want to get this one. And they have like favorite ones of the colors or the colorways, and it's just something different, a little different than your normal all-black bike, and and it's also fun to shoot those crazy ads.
I mean, you got one in here, like under the water, like in a pool, like some great content up there. So definitely check Aaron on Facebook, and obviously
give me some likes.
Yeah, give him some likes.
Give us some trends and likes.
There we go. Let's get some trending.
He needs to trend. I mean, on the X Games Facebook page, we just broke 2.2 million fans. So
give me like a little bit of those.
We'll give you a bump. We'll give you a couple.
10% is good.
Help us out here. I'll take 3%.
I'll take whatever you guys want to give me.
So GoPro, I mean, have you interacted with GoPro? Have you seen the videos?
I did. We filmed a video, I guess it was probably over a year ago now, a year and a half ago. We filmed like a whole edit with one, and it was really fun. You got the perspective of the bike, you got the helmet, you had the whole thing going on. And then we went on a trip, Gary and I actually went on a trip to the Cayman Islands for something, and we went scuba diving and all that good stuff, and it was fun. It's just cool to see what it can do, and it's more fun because you got to take it home. Like you got to see what you're gonna see, and then you take it home, and it's kind of better than your normal camera.
Well,
iPhone can't do that.
For the people that haven't seen it, let's take a look at some of the footage you were talking about, the different perspectives, and really breaking it down here. Let's check out some footage. I want to be a hero.
This is that original. This has no identical. You can't hack my digital. Future aboriginal. Send you to that clinical. Subscribe you some chemicals. Audio and visual. Can't see me. Invisible.
Jump the mega ramp, you should.
I want to be a pro as well.
I think we can all be pros with the GoPro. I mean, that's like that's the footage right there. I mean, I don't think you have to be that good with those cameras because you have such a unique perspective.
Exactly, and you're not. It's not that it's watching you. It's more or less watching what you're doing. So anything you're doing looks pro if you're like falling.
Exactly.
You know, like, oh, I was doing something cool, but I fell.
Back when we were back in the day at snowboarding video parts, you know, like one of your friends was like Switch or Goofy or regular. It's like, hey, you want to go to, you know, get me a few tricks? The GoPro would be perfect. I don't know if that's legal, but we had contemplated it for a minute. So honestly,
hey,
gearing up here, getting ready to get into the BMX Park finals. You know, some of your thoughts here of some favorites. We have Scotty Kramer in there as well.
He's in there. He won last
Dennis.
year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Scotty won last year. Yep. Dennis is good.
Daniel.
Yeah, let's just jump back to a couple more questions since we got Aaron Ross, Mr. Social Media over here. Oh, here it goes from Scott Nordstrom. I wonder if there's any relationship to the retail chain. You should get into rally racing. That is.
Thank you. Someone help me do that.
Can he back him if he is related?
Yes, Scott. If you do have money to support that, please direct message us, right? And we'll put you directly in touch with.
Should I ride for Nordstrom? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Call me.
Call him up. We'll tweet his number to all our followers.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we got, how about one more question, like some questions. Have you ever ridden here or there? There's one from someone from Savannah, Georgia. I guess you travel all over the world to ride?
All over.
Definitely, huh?
Yes, everywhere. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of places I haven't been, but there's a bunch of places I have been. And
favorite place?
That is so hard. It depends. I went to Thailand a few years ago, and that was one of the most amazing trips I'd ever been on. It was just wild, awesome, and we found a lot to ride, and we found a lot of cool things to do. Favorite places in the United States, somewhere in the South is always fun because it's just like a little laid back, and the colleges and all that stuff is like real fun to ride. The way they build things is good for street riding. I like Chicago a lot, California of course, Arizona's good. New York's fun.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking before about the different ledge heights and the creative aspect. Are there certain cities that have just locked it down with anti-have fun mechanisms?
Yeah, of course, everywhere. But that's, I guess, how the whole sport's evolved from day one. People stopped building banks and wedges in front of their buildings, so then everyone started jumping downstairs. And then it turned into, they started knobbing the rails, so everyone started double tiring the rails. Or then people started, knobbing up the ledges, so now you just 180 over the ledges. It just turns, it's helped the sport evolve since the beginning. So, I mean, I don't want you to keep putting, skate stoppers on anything, but
we will adapt.
Yeah, it's not going to change anything. It might keep your building pretty, but that's not going to keep anyone away from your building. So, like, that's the best way to put it.
No
like,
building is safe.
Exactly. Like, someone is still going to do something at your building. So, yeah, that's about it. But you got to, and over years, everyone's gotten a lot better at running from security guards.
Yes,
so,
and you're on a bike.
It's a good thing to have on a resume, right? I'm very good at running from security guards. So,
well, let's try to focus in here on the final before we talk about it. For you guys at home, send in some questions. Who do you think is going to take this? Who do you think is going to be able to pull off the gold, or you're at least rooting for? But coming into the finals, the approach or the mentality, the amount of time we have. Actually, I guess let me just throw it out there and put you on the spot. I mean, who do you think is going to walk away with it today?
I mean, anybody can walk away with it, but
We're not
letting
letting you go with anyone.
Okay, anyone could. Any one of these five guys have what it takes. Dennis Anderson has definitely qualified first, and then qualified first again, and he rides it the best of both worlds. Like he's doing the big tricks, but he's also riding it like a real skate park should be ridden. So as long as he holds his run together, I think he is a pretty safe bet. Gary Young, of course, is always in the top three. He is always somehow putting together what he needs to put together. And Scotty Kramer is your defending, X Games medalist. So
well, I messed that up actually. Daniel Dares was defending gold. Scotty Kramer went 06 and 09.
Oh, okay.
And then Daniel went 2010 and 08, 07.
That was a little mean to Dares, I guess, but he's trending on Twitter. So
yeah, you're trending. You're
it's
good.
Fine. Don't worry about us.
What about what if we could follow just one person? I mean, we can post up on someone. We can show what you don't see on TV. I mean, which athlete would you want us to follow this whole final?
I mean, I would say either Chase Hawk, because it's such a different look at riding. Those 5 guys do a lot of tricks and a lot of that kind of stuff. And then you have someone like Chase who is, you know, it's more of you have to see it in person or see it live to see what he's really doing compared to someone else. I'd say Chase, you know, like I would love to see Chase get at top 3. He's been one of my best friends for years, and yeah, I know what it would mean to him, and I know that he deserves it with what he does all year and, you know, all that good stuff. So.
And what do you expect to see, you know, because we're going to be watching him when he's not on course. I mean, what kind of attitude, what do you expect to see? Will he be amping? Will he be mellow? Will he be talking
Hopefully
to
he's
people?
mellow. Chase is, you know, been notorious for getting a little nervous. He's not a huge contest rider, but he deserves to be here more than, or just as much or more than anyone. I just hope he stays calm, and yeah, so we'll see. That was before I walked over here. I was like, Chase, just have fun, stay calm, and just do your thing, and just, you know, do what you've already done, and just try to do it a little better. So.
Will you be able to tell whether he's nervous or not?
When he takes his run, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one that in there he kind of looked a little nervous too. You can tell because when you watch Chase ride on a daily basis, he never messes up. He's perfect. Here, he's been riding practice perfect every day, and he was a little Yankee, a little like squirrely. Like he still obviously killed it and still made, you know, into the super final or whatever. And hopefully he calms that down. And so we'll see.
What kind of rider is Scotty? Is he does he stress? I mean, we'll check out some highlights of his riding. But for him, I mean, does he stress? Is he smooth?
Scotty's so good at this that I think he's so used to being in this atmosphere. I don't think he stresses. I think maybe stresses himself out only because he knows what he's capable of doing, and he wants to do it, not necessarily to win the contest as much as it's like a mental game with yourself. Like, same for street riders, same for any of these guys. Like, you know inside what you're capable of, and if you don't pull it, you're more angry at yourself because you're just like, I do that every day. Why didn't I do it today? And he seems to be one of those people. Like, he puts crazy runs together with stuff that no one else does, lines and all that. And he, so of course, he's someone to watch out for.
I always love when you're looking at athletes that you're like, he's gonna pull it, and thinking to them, it's like everyone's like, yeah, you're gonna pull. Well, I wish I felt like I was gonna pull. Right now,
exactly.
I am extremely nervous.
So I have a question, and this might answer some of the questions we're getting online. But what is going into an event, is it technical or is it going big? What's the strategy behind that, or is it a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. For myself, for instance, trying to get real technical on the street course is hard because street riding has become so technical over the years that like some tricks take you an hour. So like you're trying to shove a trick that usually takes if you're lucky 20 minutes into a 45-second run. So if you don't pull it, you can't really just go back to it because then you just spent your whole run doing one trick that isn't going to get you enough points to do anything. So a lot of it is kind of just go big, do one line of like big tricks that are just one trick, not trying to put like a crazy technical, like, you know, this to this to this link together. You know, and I mean that is like certain things into certain grinds and stuff like that, because then you just get lost. And so yeah, I think a lot of it just go big and try to stay away from the technical, like, you know, like you look at Scotty Kramer for a good example. He's one of the most technical riders there is. When he puts out a web edit, he does so many amazing tricks on the coping of a ramp. But that probably took him a little while, but it's still, no one else can do it. But you can't just try that in a run like this, because like the chances are good that you'll pull it in 10 minutes, but that does not mean you're gonna pull it in 45 seconds. You know, and like, I mean, doing it in 10 minutes is unbelievable. So like trying to do it in 45, if you did pull it, oh my God, like you just did something unreal.
Quick question, Woodward East or West?
I've been to East once, but I've been to West like a bunch of times. I was actually there twice this year already, and I like West. I like that you're in the mountains, you're in the middle of nowhere, and I like the atmosphere.
And it's the West, the West side.
Well,
there you go. Woodward West just tweeted having you on our show, so there you go.
Thank you, Woodward West.
What about the course? I mean, you know, like you said, you're competing tomorrow. Your thoughts on the course?
The course is awesome. More than the last few years, I think they really. It's something you would want to ride. So every day all the guys have shown up for practice, but more excited to ride, not really practice. The last few years you'd show up, figure out what you want to do, and then you'd be like, okay, that's what I want to do. I'm going to try it in the contest. Because it's big or scary or something that you don't want to do every day. And street riding is one of those things, when you do something once, you don't really want to do it again on the same thing because it's, you know, it's different or it's scary or whatever. And so this course has been fun to session. It's like a good little skate plaza, a good little, like, you know, skate park, I guess. And it's something that I think even the skaters love to just go and practice because it was fun.
Is there one thing, I mean, you were just talking about for a while, they're working on certain tricks that could take 20 minutes. Is there one trick in your mind that you're contemplating whether to pull it out or not?
There's one trick, yes, or 2 tricks. And I'm just trying to get 2 runs in and just do 2 solid runs, I guess. And this will be the first time that I've actually kind of set up a run, because every year I get stuck on one trick.
Sorry, Darrell, what do you have for us down there? Sorry about that.
Cool.
Darrell, you down there? What do you got for us?
Things are at a rolling boil down here. BMX Park Final. It is beyond heating up. It is scorching down here. We are getting ready to do this. Jam session organized. The clock is set. We've got the 5 riders, Daniel Dares, Chase Hawk, Gary Young, Scotty Cramner, and Dennis Anderson. It is anyone's game out there. The action is heated. This course is unreal. The action we are seeing, you need to have flow and consistency. They're taking 2 scores, so you really need to be consistent and throw those bangers out there. I cannot wait, and I know you guys can't either.
All right. Well, thank you, Darrell. As he said, coming down to this, 5 athletes, 1 heat, 15-minute jam session, 40-second max.
And this is on ESPN right now and ESPN3, so we're giving you like the nuggets, and the actual competition is happening on TV. So definitely turn on the television. Do not kill your TV yet.
Maybe after.
After, for sure.
Have you been down to the course?
Yeah.
Nice.
I tried to drop in, but...
skateboard or bike?
Both.
Both? Which one went better?
I grew up trail riding my whole life.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Dirt
cool.
jumping. Don't judge me.
I wasn't judging you yet. You know, you said you're a snowboarder, and when I cross over to snowboarding, it's not always the prettiest thing. So
yeah, I've definitely lost my ability to flow.
Every year I say I'm going to go to Winter X, and I haven't not made it yet.
Oh, you got to come
I want
out.
to come and go snowboarding, go hang out in the cold. So it's always hard though, because the weather in Texas during that cold is amazing. So like
mild winters.
Yeah, why would I want to get out of that and go freeze?
Well, while we're watching the BMX warm up right now, let's send it down to Will for an update down in Raleigh.
All right. So I'm over here with Pat Morrow. He looks like he wanted to take us over the car, so maybe we can walk backwards here. Pat, what happened? You were you had some issues on track. You started blowing smoke. What's the deal, yo?
Looks like a car got a little lean in one of the corners or something like that. These things are on the edge, so we ended up losing the head gasket. Got into the head a little bit, so we're going to go and do it, old-fashioned rally style. We're breaking out the TIG welder right now. We're going to weld the head back together, bolt some head gaskets back on it, and get the Mishimoto car back out there. So we got a lot. We're going to try to do it, but just like stage rally, we're going to make this thing. We're going to push on. We're going to make it work somehow.
All right, so these guys are actually, you blew the head gasket. This is typically a new engine scenario, but you guys are not doing that. You're doing all the gnarliness that you can to put this thing together?
Yeah, absolutely. Normally we would throw the other motor in, but the other motor is on the table right now apart too, so we've got both of them apart right now.
All right, well, Pat Morrow and the Mishimoto Subaru, back to you guys.
Oh, Will, I love Pat backpedaling there, like, please stop talking to me. Let me hint, like, I have to go fix my car. We have a race coming up. But speaking of things coming up, BMX Park Final underway right now.
It's happening. Here we go. Daniel Dares.
And as promised, we're going to keep our eyes fixed online to Chase Hawk. So let's watch the event, but also comment here with Chase and see how he's feeling and looking, if he's maintaining his cool. And again, I mean, the conflicting styles here of Daniel and Chase, and Daniel with 3 gold medals in this event, so he clearly knows how to get it done.
Clearly, yes. He's someone that he's going to figure out a way to win if it at least, because he's good. He's good at riding bikes, and he can adapt to anything. So he knows what he has to do to win a contest, and he's been there, done that. So he's definitely someone to watch out for.
Let's talk us through this run a little bit.
Here's Chase. Chase, as you can see, is big, long jumps and like style, and not too many tricks, but it's one of those things, like all these guys, you can't all just have style. Like, you're born with it or you're not, and it's something you can't make. And
so you'd brought up before, you could tell whether he was feeling nervous or not. I mean, judging his riding, how's he looking?
He's looking really good right now, actually, so that's good. It's a good sign, because once you get the first one out of the way, you're kind of good to go. It's just the first one. If it doesn't go well, then the second one might not. So this one looks really good. It looks like he's going to put together a safe run and, you know, then slowly get some more. I'm glad we're getting to watch Chase's run. I was kind of nervous coming over here. I was like, I want to watch all these guys fight. So good. We got Gary now. You see Chase smiling, so then we're doing good. He's stoked.
And we're going to do a little rewind as well and watch his run again. Now let's talk, I mean, technically about it. Are there places or opportunities for him to up a score? Huge gap there.
He was doing some tricks over that in a little bit, so I'm sure he'll try this line again and get it all dialed in perfect. Yeah, he'll dial all these lines in for sure.
Right.
He has one big line he was working on, and I think if he gets all his lines done, the last line should be pretty eventful. If he gets 2 good ones in, the last one should be like, you know, this is my dream run kind of deal. And there was one part of it that was pretty wild.
Currently with a 31, Daniel with a 35. As you said, it's adding a few tricks in there into that flow could be a nice
just
combination.
Trying to do a few little more than normal. You know, you want to save a few things for this because you don't want it to be the same thing as what you've already done. So, like all these guys, I'm sure as their runs go deeper and deeper, it's just going to turn into something you haven't even seen, and they're just going to be like sending tricks, which is going to be really cool to watch, and it's always interesting. Someone like Scotty's very good at that. He's very like, oh, I know what I need to do. I'm doing it. Like, he just like sends it, and like that. Like, I don't think I've seen him do that once.
Yeah, or I shouldn't land it, but I'm going to.
Exactly. Oh, is this Gary?
Dennis.
That's going to be worth some money one day.
Dennis.
Well, let's catch up with Daryl. I think he's got us Jamie Bestwick, the vert champion last night, who went toe to toe and held it down.
Yeah.
Daryl.
All right, guys, it is finals. It is heated up right here. I'm standing here next to the gold medalist, Jamie Bestwick. We are here. Jamie, just say hi to the guys at home quick.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
We don't want to take away from the action. You're actually going to watch over our shoulders and just kind of hear what Jamie and I are saying as the action unravels. There we go, going for the can-can fakie plant. He went for that last year, so technical.
You know what, this course is really challenging a lot of the guys. It's not the normal park setup they used to. You know, they're doing regular jump box tricks from like a 6 or 7 foot takeoff into a 3 foot mellow bank, and the margin for error is so huge. But these guys are all doing a great job. It's great to see Dez rising to the challenge, but Anderson looks hot right now.
What do you think about the psychology that goes into that? Dares is used to being on top, and in the podium coming in, he was on that bubble spot in 5th.
Yeah, but look at him, dude. He's a fighter. You know, he's been in this position before. He's an X Games champion. And look at that super huge drifting alley-oop 720 straight to a flare. But it's all the time. This is a course where you can get easily lost, and it can alter your mindset and get frustrating. But Dez is doing a great job, much like all the competitors that are backing him up.
Well, Jamie, thank you, brother. I appreciate the time, and let's watch this thing together.
Such a great contest right now.
Back to you guys.
Take a rewind look at Dennis and see how he was able to grab himself a 40. And then right now, just match with Daniel Darrell's. Let's take a look at Dennis's run over here. Talk us through this.
Dennis's run is real technical and real big. Like that right there is just like a pretty technical way to start out your run. Like, he's one of those people that technical tricks for him are not as hard as they are for some other people. And he does a combination of really big tricks and somehow can do tricks like the fakie can foot jam he did and land backwards and still turn around and keep his speed and keep his flow when some people wouldn't really want to land backwards in the middle of a skate park contest. And so, you know, Dennis is someone that can adapt to that so well, turn around and just do more tricks. Like, here he is, fakie, and then turns around and just gets going. Like when someone else would roll back and then you have to kind of like slowly get it back together and go. he knows exactly what he's doing, and that run pretty much perfect, as you can tell from his score.
I mean, from a judging perspective, let's break down even again Chase Hawk, not many tricks, and as you were saying, him putting the risk out there with the tricks. Is there an opportunity for Chase to make up these extra 5 points?
Oh yes, of course. Like someone like Chase, like I was saying earlier, he goes 5 feet higher, you know, further, bigger, smoother. If he just gets his perfect dream run together, it could put him in the top 3 because it's so different. Like, you have to remember that these guys are doing all these crazy tricks, and maybe Chase doesn't do that, but then they can't do what Chase is doing. They can't do it the way, they can't do it, you know, to the exact point that he is. And so you got to take all that in consideration, and there's a really good judging crew, and they know there's one judge in there for sure that is one of the most stylish people ever, and he knows what it takes. And then there's the other guys who you have the trick guys, and you know, it just like that. It's a good way to put it, like when it comes to judging. Like, it's hard to do that, but those guys know how hard it is to ride like Chase.
Compare Daniel Dares and Dennis. It seems like Dennis has a little more flow, Daryl a little more trick oriented, but yet still 40-40. What could either one of them do to distance themselves from each other?
Well, Dennis is doing it right now. He just did a bar to bar back, and that's something that you don't want to do at a concrete quarter at 8 feet high. So he did something that'll work. And now, I haven't seen him try the flip whip, and he just did a flip whip. Dares is, obviously his run was completely different than what he had because he had a little trouble qualifying. He had a little trouble getting into the finals on the bubble, and now he's sitting in first. So there's a button these guys can just turn on, and Dares has found it and pushed it. So. And looks like Anderson is just doing the same thing, and it is working for him because now he's in the lead again by a lot. So Dennis's runs when we were out there, when he found that line 2 days ago, and he was kind of not feeling it, and then all of a sudden he found it, you were just like, everyone was like, Dennis got this. As long as he doesn't fall, this is his because he just found it and figured it out. And so here's Chase's run. He's been working on 3-ing up this thing all weekend.
Now, you had made a comment there about Dennis finding his line, and does he find it by seeing someone else do something, or is it, are the lines that hidden, or when you say find it, what do you mean?
Usually, maybe you saw someone else do something like it, but I haven't seen anyone really do anything like Dennis's line or what he had done. Maybe you see someone take a bull corner, and you're like, oh wait, he took that pretty fast. I could go straight when he went right, and then you find something, you just kind of build it. Or you just find something that finally starts clicking, and maybe it wasn't clicking at first, and all of a sudden you get it to where you get the right pump, and then you can make it. You can turn it into a whole nother half of a run, and that's something that Dennis did.
Yeah. Well, speaking of finding lines, let's take a look at your boy's second run here.
He's shaking his head.
So, judging him from the shaking the head, what do you think the shaking the head is all about?
It started out really good. I was watching over here. It started out really good. He got a little loose right here, but he still has a few more runs in him, so you can see him hanging up a little. He just hanging up a little. He just needs to calm down and just put it together. It's always you can always tell because Chase is someone who he did all these runs every single time in practice and in the finals, and it's perfect. And then also, I think you get a little nervous when it's the top 5, and then you look at who you're going up against. You're like, every one of these guys could win this contest. Every one of these guys has top 3'd or won this contest, and so you get real nervous. So.
And it's Daniel Dares' second run. I love the start.
Yeah.
So dicey.
They call it the mini mega.
The mini mega. I like it.
I was out there and I was like, what are you guys? They're calling it mega, and I was like, what is it? They're like, it's the mini mega. Look at the lip. It looks just like the mega ramp whip, and I was like, something like that. Yeah, it's a little different, but okay.
Something, but not really.
Exactly. I couldn't imagine trying a 720 of that, especially his direction, because you're coming in with your front wheel onto the coping. So if you are off by 6 inches,
done.
It's done. 2 inches, you're done. And he's done it perfect every time. So Dares is someone, when he gets his tricks dialed in, and they're perfect, like that.
Ooh.
That transition in the middle of there is so tight that if he was over cleared it by a foot, there was no way he could ride away. You have to be so precise, and that's kind of a box, they kind of call it. It's like a spine/box. It's a bigger spine, and here's Chase's.
And back out live. Chase giving Anderson a
a 720 on that is, I don't think anyone's tried that. That was pretty wild. Dares knows what to do to try to win this contest, and he's trying it right now. Oh, he is bummed.
but cool to see the progression stepping up. We saw 360 there,
as it goes on. Yes, I think you kind of like when he probably 3'd it the first time in this finals. He probably 3'd it, wondering if he could 7 it in his head. He's already 3'd it. He's like 7 it, okay, and then he comes back and he 7s it. So I'm expecting his next run to be pretty wild because he definitely, you know, 7'd it now, but he fell doing something he'd already done. So once he gets all the pieces put together, it's going to be pretty impressive.
Well, let's send it back to the people at home. We got 3.5 minutes left. Make your claims. Let's hear who you think's going to win. Shout out. Is Dennis going to be able to take it? Is he going to be able to dethrone Daniel and Scotty, who have taken the last 5 gold medals here?
I think it's Dennis's course this year. I really do. I think, yeah, him and Gary Young actually ride together a ton. They are both from San Diego, and they're good friends, and they ride a lot alike. And I think this is, like, you know, his contest to lose at this point too. You know, like he's sitting in first, and yeah. How much time do we have left?
See Chase trying to cool off a little bit. Oh, my heart.
You know, Texas heat's hot, so I don't know. Might have to give him a little talk about that one. Come on, Chase.
You're not impressed?
No, come on. We're used to a little. This is beautiful weather, by the way, for us. People think it's hot, but this is unbelievable.
So, have the people spoken?
Let's see what they're saying. We still got a lot of blank-minded things. We got Aaron, a shout out from Empire BMX.
Empire BMX, yeah. The Empire BMX is the greatest mail order in the world.
They
so
said,
hello,
Aaron,
Tom. I know you're sitting there.
Say I love Dave Perrick.
Oh God, we all love Dave Perrick. Entire world of BMX just went, oh God. So I love you, Dave. I love you, Tom. Follow Empire BMX on Twitter. He's a very interesting character.
Yeah,
there's actually a guy sitting here right now with an Owen Empire shirt on right in front of us.
Nice.
So, Tom, you're doing a good job. Tina.
We see a
and
lot
Owen, obviously.
See a lot of people in here speaking about Dennis, saying he's got a pretty good chance here.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Like, I mean, he's 6 points ahead of everyone, and he's done everything he's wanted to do, I think. So he's actually riding right now, and I think he just did something different. So he can only improve from here. So
Scotty needs a 44.
Jeez.
And Daniel needs a 41. Oh, but it pointed out right there about how difficult it is.
To land backwards on that trick is one of those things that, like, you got to be really prepared. Dennis is one of the best at doing that trick in this industry, and he's proving that in contest runs, trying to land backwards, which is something you shouldn't try to do in a contest run unless you're Dennis Anderson, obviously. Daniel Dares, I guess this is the last round of runs, huh? The session's over, so I guess it's all one more run for everyone.
And a lot of people are asking if it is live. It is. If you turn on the TV, this is on ESPN. We're sitting here with Aaron Ross, giving you a complete social, interactive look at everything that's going on.
We've had some fun.
Oh yeah.
And Daniel,
I'm just gonna hang out with you guys next year all day.
Just come post up.
Yeah, just gonna come hang out. I have an opinion about anything, so you know, we'll figure something out.
Well, opinion. This is Daniel's last run, last opportunity. Looking
he's really
for a 41.
He's put some stuff together, like that trick I was telling you. He's 7'd into it, and he's put that whole run together. So I think he gave it all his all. He's in.
Is that enough, in your opinion, to make up an extra point from his first run?
Oh man.
Come on, you said you got opinions.
We'll see. That's gonna be interesting because I didn't see the end of his run. But it could be with the beginning with the 720 and then pulling the 270 double whip. It could be.
Well, look, I got the tweet ready to go out, congratulating the gold medal winners.
Ooh,
so.
Dares is in front. They're gonna tie for first now. Yeah, so it was enough. So now Dennis.
41.
And I think Dennis's bike might have broke a little on that last one. I think so. This will be interesting. Gary,
let's take a look. We're gonna stay on Dares here as he has to watch Dennis's run.
Yes.
And let's just, you know, give some authenticity here. Like, if are the claps real? Let's really read these emotions to see how he responds.
We're watching
Daniel.
Dares.
We're gonna watch Daniel.
Okay. What happens in a tiebreaker?
The last man to have a say is going to be Dennis. And in a tiebreaker, it goes to the second run. Is that?
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Because I think that's how Chase qualified earlier, and he had his second run, so he was sitting before Scotty. So I think it is second run, or last person to get a high score.
Well, here it is. Daniel just has to wait. Dennis
Anderson. This is what it's all about, though, right? Like, you want to see the best, and now they have to do the best. So here we go. This is Scotty. No one was doing that. That was a cool trick, and that's a really technical trick.
And even for Scotty, a 44, which would be a massive score.
Yeah, it's possible. He called it. Maybe he had some bike troubles.
Look at Daniel.
Here we go.
Just
Dennis Anderson's last run as Daniel sits.
Throw it out there. Is he going to be able to pull it off, in your opinion?
He has everything it takes to pull it off.
That's a yes, no question. Yes, no question. Is he going to pull it off?
You're putting me on the spot now. You know what? I'd like to see it. I would.
I'm going to go yes. I think he's got it. You're scared. I'm going to go on the record.
Here we go.
Come on, add something.
So far, it's good.
Here's. And a
there it
great
is, huh?
effort.
1, 2, 3. It's a good top 3. Dennis. It's kind of a bummer to end in a tie, though. Should have like the penalty kicks or something. They should just bring a goalie out and just have a penalty kick. Them two, one on one.
Just go to best trick.
Exactly, best trick. They just need to play a game of bike.
Let's
just play a big game of bike.
Let's take another look here at Dennis's run, his last chance.
It was going really good for a while. I think the pocket air, which he's done every time. I think I've only seen him fall once in practice. And jeez. There's nothing wrong with second place, though, huh? That is a really technical trick. Trying to throw the bars, catching them, and then putting them in your lap and getting your hands off, and then getting your hands back on before you land is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Especially in a contest run.
Tight
and that's a blind hip, everyone said. So, like, that hip, you're throwing them, and you're just hoping that you're even lined up correctly. And so by the time he's taking his hands off, he doesn't know what's really going on. So,
well, there's our winner, Daniel Dares, doing it again.
Is this 2 in a row, or?
Back-to-back, double gold.
There you go.
And double gold in 08 and 07, and now backing it up.
It's pretty amazing to see how someone can really turn it on, because he qualified towards the end, and I don't know exactly where he qualified in the run. Then he qualified 5th, and then now from 5th to 1st. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, qualifying, as you said, not in the top spot, but able to get it done today. Park just looks perfect.
It is. Yeah, we walked around it yesterday, and I like the way that they use the darker concrete, even though I guess that would be a horrible idea in a real skate park, since you would just be on fire all day. Injuries you figure out injuries real quick. Like you hit the ground and it's so hot, you jump up and then you instantly like, I think I'm okay, because you don't want to lay on the ground long enough to figure it out. Like some people like to lay down, like stretch out, and they're like, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, they're not stretching.
Like, you jump up and you're instantly running it off to figure out if you're okay, because you're like, I'm not going to catch on fire.
Well, that was an exciting BMX final. I mean, let's take a look back here at Daniel Dares' run.
Glory run, I guess, huh? Oh, this is his run.
This is his last run, therefore his winning run. That's
all, like I was saying, if he put it all together with the 720 and then the 270, or this, and then the 270 double whip, it was kind of like, at this point, if he just didn't fall, it was really...
The cool thing, too, is this was his last run, and then Dennis on his last run wasn't able. So for me, I always love when you have that one last chance and you capitalize.
See, I never saw him try that before that, so that was really good. He knew what he had to do, and he did it. He got it done.
For you in street, do you, in the moment of jam, is there opportunities for you to try things you've never done?
Well, of course, because if you do the 2 runs that you planned and they work, you have 3 more or so to try everything you want to work. So if you put your dream run together, and the dream run kind of becomes like trick by trick. oh my God, I pulled it, next one. Oh my God, I pulled it, next one. And you just kind of like, that's kind of what he was doing. He pulled a 7, he pulled the 270 double whip. Then it was like, well, what's the next crazy trick? So he got to that quarter and did a flare whip, which he hadn't tried. So you kind of just start throwing together everything that you hadn't tried. And it worked out for him, so.
Yes, it did. And for you guys at home, remember, coming up later, we have a rally skate street finals where you'll be controlling the content similar to here today, where BMX and rally. So make sure to, you know, let us know. Do you want to see rally? Do you want to see Ryan Scheckler and the boys doing it on the street park? It's your chance.
And Chad Nordstrom on Twitter, let us know if you're going to help us launch Aaron Ross's rally racing career, whatever that might be.
We both want to race a rally car.
I'll co-drive for you.
I'm trying to get you guys next year live in a rally car doing the show.
Amen.
So I'm helping you out.
Thank you.
But as long as I'm invited.
I'm helping you help me.
I want to race a rally car. I raced in a rally car once in New Zealand. We were on some crazy trip, and we went to some, I don't know, some farm, and we were like hit golf balls and shotguns and race rally cars and rode in helicopters. It was really wild.
Sounds like Travis Pastrana's house in Maryland.
Exactly,
yeah,
right?
it's like it's just another one of those. I tried to drive that car, and the guy was not having it. I was like, "Come on, please, just let me drive the car," and it was just not happening.
You're American.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gonna happen. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for coming in. I mean, before you go, let's big up your Twitter and Facebook or any other one.
At the Aaron Ross. Follow the top 5 guys. They all got Twitter. Find them all. They're all good guys to follow.
But your Twitter one more time?
At the Aaron Ross.
At the Aaron Ross. Hook
Aaron
him
Ross
up.
was taken.
You know, you couldn't like hit him up like, yo, can I get my name?
He doesn't use it. He doesn't use it at all. So it's the.
He's trying to sell it to you.
Aaron Ross. So find me.
Well,
send me a message.
We appreciate you joining XCast, hanging out with us, giving us the inside look, and yeah, maybe next year rally.
Yeah, dude, we're in it next year. It's on.
Right on.
I'll see you guys there.
All right.
Thank you very much. Hello, Mom and Dad. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. Thank you.
So yeah, just checking back in. All right, Aaron. Just checking back in online here. We got a bunch of viewers watching us on xgames.com and the X Games Facebook page. I can't believe Daniel Dares hit a trending topic worldwide on Twitter. Like there are a lot of fans out there. That's serious.
How is his Twitter network looking?
I'm gonna have to bring that up. You know? But you know what? He does tweet in Spanish and English, so that's got to help.
A double threat.
Double threat, exactly. And we're about to tweet out right now. Congrats. And I think we should work on a new hashtag, maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Get the next maybe a rally specific hashtag
we'll get Chrissy
going.
in there.
Yeah.
She'll drop it for us.
Be guest hashtags for all of the X Games social networks.
We need to put our reporters to work. Find Will. See if he's in there. See if he can bother some more people.
I know. I'm seeing a lot more chem blocks on here. Some questions about Carey Hart, who will be in racing Speed and Style later tonight. But yeah, all the rally stuff is coming up, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to get an insider's view, sideline reporting, the whole thing. And I know we're going to get Chrissy up here in a second to really break it down. I mean, she literally kind of broke the news about Travis Pastrana and the hand and you know, that whole thing. So really it's like we get firsthand inside experience right here, and you guys can ask us questions. It's sweet. Ken is going to win. Okay, Jacob Hubble, we get it. We know you like Ken Block. Columbia, South Carolina. Come on, get out to X Games. Who else do you guys want to see win? Who do you think has it in the rally final this afternoon? Let us know. Let us know why, rather than just a name. And,
yeah, claim your statement.
I'm rooting for Tanner, says Dusty O'Neill from Canada. Tanner Faust.
Let's talk a little Tanner Faust though. I heard he was on Letterman, did some slide in between some cones. Chrissy, I mean, Cab, sorry, Chrissy, you were in the car with them, right? Are you?
Not
how good is he? First off, let's just make the stage of how good he is of an athlete.
Tanner's really, really good. He's the kind of driver that hops in so many different cars all the time, and he's been doing, you know, really for about 10 years, he's just been hopping in different cars, doing commercials and stunt driving and so many different things, that he's driven so many different things, that he just has this experience that most people don't get. I was just in the pits hanging out with him and Matthew Johnson and another rally driver, Ramana Lagaman and Lachlan, and they're all sitting there talking about stuff, and they're like, you can't practice rally. You just don't get a chance to do it. You know, all of these guys on the skateboards and the bikes. I mean, you guys, they can go out every day, and these guys are so jealous of that. You know,
well,
they want to go out.
What's the reason? Why aren't they able to practice? Because then, I mean, for me sitting here, I would think they have these cars and they can go.
Right.
Yes,
well,
right?
you might have the car, and real rally cars are street legal.
Yeah, so
yeah, you
go
can,
cruise down the street, no?
You can go cruise down the street, but that's the same as riding your BMX bike to go to the grocery store, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't get to practice the kind of things that that are in the races. You just don't get a chance.
Well, speaking of it being street legal, let's take a look at the Letterman hit here, because this is something. Sorry.
I want to see it.
The Letterman, you could slide in between two cabs. We're going to show that in a little bit, but let's check out a feature here of Tanner and see what he's all about.
I like driving on the ragged edge. If I'm on an airplane and somebody asks me what I do for a living, I spend time doing a couple different things: stunt driving for movies, hosting TV shows, and racing cars. I love the racing, that's what I'm in the business for, but the stunts are kick-ass because you just shred things, you crash into things, you jump stuff, you just get to do stuff like you're a 13-year-old. My interest in driving started when I was a kid. My dad bought an old Porsche when I was 3. I can remember when I was probably 5 years old, I'm sitting in the back seat of this car and he gets second gear in anger one time around a corner and I hear the tires squeal and I'm just thinking, my God, what's gonna happen? We're gonna flip over. And it was one of the greatest things of my childhood. Cars were just like a passion for me as a kid, but it seemed like every job I got had something to do with driving. I was lucky enough as I was instructing at an ice driving school in Colorado, somebody came up, said, hey, you should drive rally cars. Literally ordered a used rally car that afternoon, and the dealership that person owned was my sponsor for the next 5 years. I think the rally cross cars are the most violent cars to drive. They're just wicked, evil little things trying to kill you, basically. And you just have to hold on to the reins of these cars, and if you let them go, you crash. My job is fairly bizarre, but I love nothing more than getting in a car, getting sideways, and I start to feel really alive at that moment.
Yeah, so check it out. If you guys are on the internets right now and watching us, this is kind of the scope of the X Games networks. Pretty much every single platform you could possibly be social on. And again, we're giving you the inside look at everything that's happening on TV. Chrissy, what are you on any of those pages? Should we talk about any official Facebook pages or Twitter accounts, or should we kind of keep that to your personal friends?
No, it's actually pretty funny. When I told people I was going to be doing XCast and it was going to be on all these social networks, they just started laughing because I'm not on anything. You know, I don't have any time for any of that stuff. But that's really cool that you guys are on all of those things. That's really neat.
You have too much information, though. I mean, nothing worse than somebody that's doing Twitter updates like me, like I'm going to sleep. But you literally could provide information that people really want to hear.
Yeah, I know. I've really thought about. I do actually have a Twitter account. I think I've tweeted once. Yeah.
And speaking of connecting socially. We actually have a QR code, so if you guys are watching this, you can take your phone. Hopefully you have the app. Chrissy, this might blow your mind. QR codes, I know. So if you guys are looking at that right now, take a picture and you can literally get your full schedule on your mobile phone. I don't really think it gets better than that. Scan it, launch it, live it with the Ed Hardy graphics. I love it.
Nice.
But that's our official QR code, so all you mobile users out there, definitely take advantage of that.
Now Tanner, I mean, to go back to Tanner, I didn't really realize this, but first, he was saying the cars are designed to kill you, but he made mention of the rally cross car being different. So the cars, to me, rally is rally, but is it?
Right, no, the rallycross cars are definitely different. And one of the biggest differences is that they're faster. When you're racing on a rally road, it's this tiny little road out in the middle of nowhere, and you're basically by yourself. So they really have found that over the years that they've had to limit these cars in the speed because the crashes were getting too big. Too many people were really getting seriously injured in the crashes when the cars were too fast. So now having the cars be restricted, so they put a restrictor on the turbo, and the rally cars are quite a bit slower actually. That doesn't mean that they don't get up to really high speeds on those little roads, but generally they're not as aggressive.
So is it similar to NASCAR where they're supposed to be created equal? What you made mention there, the limiters, is that?
You mean?
Because I heard if you're not like trying to cheat, you're not really racing. Was I think a quote that I had heard thrown out there.
Well, one of the things about rallies that they really do try to make sure that all the cars are compliant, and they are really good about following all the cars. And rally is a very gentlemanly sport. You'll find that most of the competitors really want to win on the stages. They really want to beat their competitors up front and outright. And so you don't really get, every now and then in some of the lower classes, like if you're in a production car, there's some things where, well, there's a little bolt that's welded onto the floorboard. Well, if you cut that off, your car is now illegal. So, that type of thing. Some people, have problems with that.
It's like me racing go-karts when I try to reach back and get a little extra there out of it. But I think Will's down at Rally, getting ready for the round of 16. Will, what do you have for us down there?
Hey guys, how you doing? Will Maddox over here in the pits and enjoying things. As you can see, the Subaru crew is lined up behind me. David Higgins, driver of the 75, he just went on a little walk. He's trying to figure out some things. Everything seems to be running good for them, but you got to come over here. Dave Mira and the Monster Ladies getting all set up. Dave, buddy, are you ready for today?
I've been ready for today for like 2 days.
Now it's extremely hot in this car. There's no AC or what?
This car is a power plant. So when you get about 4 laps in, it's seriously like 150 degrees. Gnarly.
All right, and the ladies just keeping you cool all day long? Are they gonna, every time you stop, they're gonna show up with umbrellas and stuff?
I guess that's the plan, yeah.
All right, Dave Mira, come check him out. He's definitely been kicking some butt this weekend, right?
Well, it's all about flat out, and that's what sometimes you got to take some chances, and this time it's with a car, not a bike, so it's good.
Now, on the last 3 rounds of the Global Rallycross, this car was a little bit, I don't want to say beat up, but it was kind of interesting. It had some minor dings and minor damages. Are we going to see you going flat out, not worrying about the concrete walls or your competitors?
Well, I'm not worried about any walls or anything, but yeah, I know there's some great guys here, and obviously the cleaner the car, in most cases the quickest. So a bumper here and there is not a big deal, but you definitely gotta harness these things. They're very, very fast cars, so you gotta drive it with care.
And the new engine, I heard you had a sweet new engine in this thing.
Yeah, I got a new engine. It's nice.
Fast European spec.
It's very fast. It's a great car. We worked, Subaru and Vermont Sports Cars. The team has worked very, very hard to get these things, hopefully out on the podium. I said, man, we got to repay you. The only way we can repay you is with gold. So we're trying.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate it. Have fun out there today, Dave. And yeah, great times. As you can see, they're still pitting up. The Monster Ladies are still here, looking beautiful. And a few moments, we'll try and talk to some more drivers. But in the meantime, back to you guys.
Thank you, Will. And I don't know how much the Monster Ladies are doing there for him, but it works, I guess. But he was making mention of the Subaru car and the team. I mean, tell us a little bit about those guys. I hear they're the best in class.
Yeah, Vermont Sports Car is really, really well known in the business, and they've been around for a long time. I've had the pleasure of being up at their shop before and seeing some of the crazy things that they're doing with these cars. One of the interesting things, though, is that Americans are generally a little bit behind the curve on the rallycross cars, and so Lance and the guys up at Vermont are, you know, really learning a lot in these past year and a half about building their rallycross cars. But they're coming up fast, and those Subarus are really turning out well now.
When you say behind, I mean, what aspects of building the car are we a little behind on?
Well, just a general development. Like the Ford Fiestas, they're in their 9th generation now, and like the Citroens and Uhrenberg's car. Uhrenberg's been rallycrossing for 15 years, and then Liam Doran in the Citroen really has so much more experience, and that means that the mechanics have more experience too, and so you know, it's all about experience in rally. I guess it's the same with everything, right?
Yeah, but in everything, it's, you know, I don't think the car plays a big role as opposed to maybe your snowboard or your skateboard or.
Well, you know, there's a lot of development that go into those things too. You know, and there's a lot of years behind that. It just seems like in that type of thing, it's more open source, right? You can see how someone else's bike is developed or how their skateboard's made and things like that.
You just go buy one and cut it open.
Exactly, but with the car, it's not so simple.
What about just the technique or some strategy that is used here within racing? You know, for me at home, or for me sitting here, I don't understand exactly what the strategy is. Can you explain a little bit the strategy, the Joker lap?
Sure. Well, today they only have to, you know, take the Joker lap that one time, and you know, it's really up to driver's preference. But you'll definitely find that the guys, the European racers, have a lot more experience with when to take the Joker lap, and they're not so hesitant about it. So they kind of have their plan set out, and you'll find a lot of the guys have exactly the same plan. You know, if I'm first on the road, when I take the Joker lap. If I'm second, when do I take the Joker lap, and that kind of thing. And they're not really winging it out there. They have a plan.
And the Joker lap it's designed to allow distance, right? So that you can, when it comes back together, if you've been faster, you'll be ahead or behind. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you know, it really adds a lot of excitement to it. And strategy. You know, even though these guys have the same strategy, when they take the Joker lap and how they do over it, we've got 2 pretty difficult turns in that Joker lap, and if they do well, they're going to pull out ahead, and if they screw those 2 up, well, that's going to be really hard. I was actually talking to Robbie Madison just before I came down here, and he was saying that he's having a really hard time with the turn right before the jump.
Yeah, he looked like he was having a hard time with a bunch of things out there. No, you know, no beating up on Robbie because I'm not out there. But let's check in with Will, digging in deep down there, and see what he's got for us.
What's up, X Games? How you guys doing? I'm back here, and I am in the Monster World Rally tent right now. Of course, they're working on the hybrid function Hoon vehicle, the HF-HV of Ken Block, number 43. Still trying to determine the minor little issues that they had. As you can see, they're doing some cleanups right now. I still don't have any definites on what's going on. I just can't tell you the issues that they're having, but they're definitely having some minor issues. Again, this car is set up to do 3 championship styles of racing, from Gymkhana to rally racing to rallycross, which is what we have here at X Games. It's a beast. It's gnarly. This is the first time it's ever ran in competition, so we're going to stick with these guys and see exactly what's going on, if we can figure it out. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get in there a little bit and see if I can hoon around and find out exactly what's up. So in the meantime, back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Will. And I'm no expert here, but it does not look like a good thing when your car is up on stilts and you're getting ready to run. I mean, tell us a little bit. I mean, what are they trying to accomplish here? They're throwing out Hun or computers. Looks like a Y2K bug's got into his car.
You mean when it's just sitting up on the jack stands?
What is the technology that it seems like they're trying to bring to the sport? And it sounds different than.
And to Kier's point, how expensive is that? Like, give us like a number when you're talking about this, because we were talking about when Matto just hit the wall and you know, seating, and it did not look like a cheap mistake.
No, and that's a big part of it right now. You know, these are $200,000-$300,000 cars, and that's not necessarily including the development behind them. You know, one part after another.
Brian Deegan. Not a good look.
No, he was getting pulled in off of qualifying too. Oh, he's not going to be happy about that.
All smiles early on, and
yeah, back in the pits, Tanner was giving him some advice, and you know, they were talking about the course and where to do what, you know, where to go a little bit slower, where to really pin it, and then Tanner was saying, "Oh, now you're going to be faster than me," because apparently that's always what happens with them. Tanner gives him some advice, and then he's faster. But
and what do you mean by that?
well, I don't see any damage on the car. And that was the same with during qualifying. I didn't get a chance to find out what happened. Maybe Will or Jen could find that out.
And that's got to be so frustrating. You put all this time and money into testing and practicing, and then you finally get to the event right before you're actually going to compete, and you know, you end up pushing your car just like Deegan is here. It's got to just be a bummer.
He's so bummed right now. And, you know, not to say he had it in the bag, but he really had the better prepared car than Keeney, who he went up against. So, you know, he probably went into that feeling pretty confident.
Looking at the next race coming up, Robbie Madison, Liam Doran, your thoughts?
Oh, that's a hard break for Robbie. Liam is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Liam did have problems during qualifying, though, which is why he's being paired with Robbie. But he's so fast, and that car, that Citroen, the mechanics were saying that this is just such a great car. However, Liam is going to have to take it a little bit more easy than he normally does this time around, because they need the car next week in Belgium to be racing.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
and
they say that they have
on ABC right now. So if you guys are watching us, turn on the TV, ABC, ESPN3.com, so you can watch the actual race. And then again, we're just going to be breaking it down and talking with you guys one-on-one online. And
if you have any questions out there, send them in. We got the expert right next to us, and I'm not scared to ask her anything. So let's. Exactly, it could get dangerous.
Yeah, here's a question from Ryan James right here. Is anyone worried about spitting gravel into other cars, like radiators, things like that? I mean, that's got to be an issue, right? Driving over rocks and objects like that.
And that's a really good question. In fact, all of these cars have Lexan windows. So they have a really thick, a 1/4-inch Lexan window, and that's so that it doesn't get shattered. And they, in the past, we've had some of the cars come out in some of these rallycrosses with a regular glass window, and the rocks have gone straight through, right, and hit the driver. Tanner was telling me a story the other day about a European rallycross where the rocks, some guy spun out and rolled in front of him, and the rocks came all the way through his windshield, all the way back through the back windshield, and made nick marks on the wing. Yeah, so it is a concern.
Pretty much bullets, pretty much bullets.
Yeah, if you guys are tuning into ABC right now, oh, that's pretty good. You know, this jump really does look a lot easier than in past years. These guys are kind of just sailing over it. But I think one of the dangers of it is that they're going to get too much speed over it. They're really going to have to check back so they don't overjump it.
And walk us through right now what we're seeing here. Robbie Madison and Doran.
Well, let's see. So is that Doran's taking the Joker lap now. Let's see him go over the jump. It looked to me like Doran got a really poor start. Really nice jump there for Liam. They were saying that this particular car is so easy to drive that you really don't want to be sliding it much. And so when you see Liam really hanging it out, that's more his style than something that he needs to be doing with the car. Oh, what was that, on ESPN? I was like...
I think that was a replay from our Home Depot Center when, I think that was when Block rolled it around one of the corners, yeah.
I was like...
Well, I think I think
there are gonna be some rolls, though, this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Coming off of the marbles onto the street?
Yeah, mainly going through the cut-through under the jump in the rallycross when you've got two cars together. You know, we could see some of it today when we've got two really well-matched cars.
Well, let's see if we can catch up with Jordan down in the skate street. Jordan, what do you got for us down there?
All right, I'm up here on the staging deck for the athletes as they prepare for street skate going on at 1:30. Now, I had the unique opportunity to ride the shuttle over here with the head judge, Sasha Steinhorst, and we were talking about what we saw yesterday, and he was saying that Luan Oliveira was really standing out to them because of his ability to adapt on this course. He'd hit an obstacle, he may mess up, but he has the ability to pull in another trick and to really keep the flow, and you know what? That's what they're looking for, and you know that I was talking about P-Rod. He didn't make it in. They were bummed not to see him in here, but they said that there's just this new crop of young riders that are just blowing everybody out of the water, like Sean Malto, and you got Ryan DeCenzo. So that's what they're looking for out here today, really the ability to adapt. And of course, they said it, we're all thinking it. These guys have not shown all of their cards yet, so we're going to look for some big tricks out here today. Lastly, I talked to Sean Malto about preparation, and he said that really when you get nervous, everything seems lower and the trick seems a little tougher. So he basically took his board apart and put it back together right before practice here today. And you know, he said it was tough knocking out P-Rod because they're friends. He said it was crazy that his worst day was P-Rod's worst day was almost better than his best day. But you know what? That's how the cookie crumbles out here, and we're going to keep you involved in all the behind the scenes, and I'll send things back to you guys.
Right on. Thank you, Jordan. That was great. You know, I got to ride up in the elevator with Sean Malto yesterday, and some guy was like, "Are you in the X Games?" And he's like, "Well, kinda. I feel like I'm not here." You could tell he was a little disappointed with his performance, but he is in the finals, so hopefully he was able to sort that out. And I don't know if you guys at home heard that, but
those rally cars are fired up.
Yeah. While we're waiting to get this going, let's field some questions from the people at home.
Yeah, what do we got out here? Any questions? Rally, skate, and speaking of rally, I think we got Robbie Madison. Maybe you can give us a little insight on that that wall tag a little earlier.
Will, you got us down there?
All right, guys, what's going on? I'm down here with Matto. He just completed his first race of his rallycross career. Matto, how did it go for you, man?
Pretty bummed. You know, I was looking at the start light, and it's red the whole time you're there, and then the light went off, so I jumped, and I realized you got to wait for it to go off and come back on, so I didn't know if I was already disqualified, so I kind of sat there, and I just, as a gentleman, let Duran go first, and then I took off, and then I thought, you know, I'd just try and drive smooth and, you know, see what happens, but he didn't have an error, so I wasn't able to kind of conquer on that, and you know, I did the jump or whatever, and you know, it was tough. As I guess you got to have experience. You know, you really got to know the start procedure. But yeah, Duran won. Is a better man on the day.
Well, you're talking about a kid who's got 3-4 years of full-on professional supercar rally experience under his belt, and this is your first race. You've been test driving the car, and I mean, you got to give yourself some credit, man. You're out there playing with the big dogs. I know you're a big dog in the freestyle world, but you know, rallycross a little different animal, right?
100% different animal. I just bummed that I didn't go out there and do the best that I'm capable of. You know, that's all I expect out of myself, and I made a small oversight. So it's one of those things. I've got a smile on my face. You know, hopefully I don't even know if I get to drive again. Probably not, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. And I know now the start procedure, so we'll just see how we go. But it's all a learning curve for me. I'm stoked to be here amongst some of the best drivers in the world, and yeah, I am happy. I'm content, but. It just would have been nice to drive to my full ability.
Now tell me a little bit about the learning curve, transitioning from moto into rallycross and everything that you had to do along the way.
You know, I love engines. You know, I love the smell of burning fuel and going fast. It's just part of my deal. But I mean, the transition's been awesome. You know, I love the way I'm a racer at heart. So, you know, there's a jump on the track. It's almost motocross to me. It feels good.
Nice. Well, you heard it, Matto, Robbie Madison. He's out there, and he'll be back again tomorrow, kicking butt. Back to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Will. And, I mean, talk about that. He made it seem like it's a common mistake. Is that a common mistake with the light?
I got to say it is. The lights that they have here they're tricky, and you've got to be used to them. You know, I think that they got to see them in practice, but I think that they only got to see them once. So all of these other guys that have been out here and you know, maybe had the advice, at least of other people, saying these start lights can be really tricky to see. You know, basically it's this red light, it's on, and they kind of give you like a five, but it could be 7 seconds, it could be 4 seconds. So, you know, they say it's somewhere in there, and then the light goes off, and that's your go. So it's not like a drag light where it kind of counts down. It's really tricky. So I can't say I'm surprised that it happened to somebody. You know, I'm sorry that it happened so soon, and you know, he's still got tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him in the Red Bull commercials from Vegas. He dropped all of his moto events to focus here on rally. He seemed confused of what he had left. I mean, can you enlighten us of what other events he's maybe got another chance here at?
Well, he's got Rallycross tomorrow. So, you know, he thought maybe he gets another chance today. Unfortunately, that's not
going to happen. Sorry, Robbie.
Chrissy, we got a question from you from our X-Cast. Jordan Hawkins wants to know about your racing career and what's going on with that. Are you still out there racing? Are you support? What's going on now?
Yeah, this year I was co-driving in a super production car, so it's kind of one step below the open class cars. So it's not the really fast cars. Still a lot of fun, and I was co-driving for Raman Alagman, who's an ex-Subaru factory driver. So he's very, very fast and really fun and a good friend of mine. So I had a lot of fun this year co-driving, and then, you know, hopefully I'll get in my rally car sometime this year, maybe for Prescott Forest Rally, which is kind of a local favorite around here.
I mean, coming from a family of race car drivers, at what age did you start breaking the rules?
Yeah, you know, I think I was 9 when I learned how to drive a stick shift.
Nice.
That was the first time that I could reach the clutch, and you know, with phone books stacked behind my back and sitting on 3 or 4 pillows, and my dad just took us out in the desert with our Saab 900 and like just was like, all right, this is how you drive a stick shift. And so you know, it's funny to hear about people that are just learning how to drive a stick shift in their mid-30s, and you're like, wait a second, shouldn't you have learned this before you were 10?
They're like, yeah, we don't come from the same families.
Another good question, Ryan James, and this is an interesting one. What is White, as in Sean White, doing with Rally? What's the inside scoop on that?
You know, I think you know, it would be great to see him out there. He did take a rally school that's up near Seattle, where one of the rallycrosses was, the Dirtfish Rally School. In fact, you see him in his BFG commercials. That orange car, that's one of their cars, and he was out there playing around there. And they've got a really nice kind of track out there, and it's really fun to play around on. So, you know, I'm sure he learned something up there.
Can you put into perspective how difficult it is? Because for me, even I see all these other athletes like jumping in, whether it's Pastrana or whether it's me or Robbie. You know, how? Oh, sorry. Before we answer that, let's send it back down to Will real quick. He's digging in deep, trying to get us some information. Will, what do you got?
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm here with Michael Jernberg. Now, we talked a little bit about when racing is going on and then you're rolling through the pits and you see a car on jack stands. Well, it's happening right now. Michael Jernberg and his Skoda are not racing this current heat, and we're trying to figure out exactly what happened. Michael, what's the deal, yo?
In the second free practice, I lose the compression of 1 cylinder, so it was only going on 3 cylinders. So we tried to change the engine, but we don't have time for that. So we needed half an hour more, but now my heat just go now, so, and they couldn't wait for me, so we have to fix everything so we can be back tomorrow morning again.
All right, so you're not going to run this heat, you're not going to run today, you're going to get everything fixed. Now, the thing about having a Skoda is we don't have a whole lot of those out here, right?
No, I don't think there's any more Skoda here in the USA than only my car, and it's fun and many like the car. It's cute, I said, a small car from Europe, so yeah, and it worked very well. And when the engine works, it's much power in that, and a good car.
Definitely super competitive when it comes down to the 600 horsepower of the Fiestas or the 550 horsepower of the Subarus. The little Skoda that is definitely out of commission at this time, but your crew is going to get back together, and we'll see it tomorrow, right? Head on, the real smashing and bashing of real rallycross tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow is real rallycross, what I'm used to drive. I'm not driving in Europe, we don't drive the two car, but it's fun there too, but now tomorrow is real rallycross again, and that's good.
All right, well, you heard it. Michael Jernberg, he's in the Skoda. It's up on stands right now, but he's given us the word that it will definitely be ready. Car number 4, Michael Jernberg, back to you guys.
Thank you. I can't believe he said the little Skoda that could.
He's pretty funny. The Swedes are pretty funny.
That's a big car in Europe, I guess. Like literally 10 people just kind of popped in. Someone from the Czech Republic saying Skoda, the best car. I guess that's a common car over in Europe, right?
Yeah, it is, and clearly, you know, it does really well. You know, he really does really well with it. He really drives the heck out of that car. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's, as we heard, you know, you can see them in Germany or France, but they're out of Czech. And when you come over here with a car that you don't have access to parts or other materials, it's a tough situation.
Yeah, I gotta say though, all of these top cars that we're seeing today, you don't just go to the parts store.
Napa doesn't carry those?
No, you don't just go searching through a local junkyard to find parts for
That's
those.
a good point. Like when these guys are racing domestically in the States, how do they get parts like that? I guess they just kind of ship it all over and hope they don't run out of that part that they need.
Yeah, exactly. Most of their parts are fabricated. They make them themselves. You know, all of the parts that break on the car, control arms, and you know, all the drive shafts are all aftermarket things. So you know, they have really serious specs for those, and they can have them made here in the States, but I'd imagine that they'd probably just have their jigs back at home and then send the parts over.
Well, Dusty O'Neill, you just got the answer you were looking for, buddy, on XCast.
Who else we have out there?
I don't know. We're seeing some stuff about a little skate, which I know we're going to go to. Some good questions coming in for that. I got a shout out to the Mini Cooper. Does Mini Cooper actually make like a factory race car? I mean, I haven't seen one in the States. It's got to be there though.
Yet. I would love to see one in the States, but they just got a World Rally car. And
how are they doing?
Well, it looks amazing. So right now in the World Rally scene, it's pretty hard to get up there, but hopefully, you know, we'll see. It takes years of development for those cars, so it's really hard for a manufacturer to come in and think that they're going to be, you know, even in the top 10 kind of right from the beginning, you know. But the car looks really fun.
Yeah. And like the Italian job. I don't know if you've seen that with the little, I mean, that to me put those cars on the map of like, it couldn't been perceived as not that rad, and then after that move you're like, yeah, they're cool.
Well, there was an original Italian job too, you know, and like, I mean, they've been cool and they've been rallied for so long. I mean, they're just such small little light cars and nimble. Oh, who's that?
There goes the Skoda. It's done.
Rally car racing happening.
That's Dave Mirra's car was making all that noise out there, yeah.
That's funny. We were talking about Dave Mirra earlier, just how he's definitely the king of BMX with 24 X Games gold medals, and now he's getting into rally. Wow. It seems like he's got a lot of support behind him with Subaru and you know, a couple of his other sponsors. Like, what do you think about him making that crossover and his success so far in the sport?
Yeah, Dave's been driving for what, 4 or 5 years now, so he's been in it for a while. I remember one of his first races out at 100 Acre Wood, and he was in this little tiny non-turbo car, and you know, it was a Subaru, but it was you know, kind of this old little dinky thing. It was one of his first events, and right now what they're doing is, if you come in and you're a beginner, then you're not allowed to start in a turbocharged 4-wheel drive car, which makes a lot of sense, and I think that really helps people. So he got a chance to really learn how to push a slow car as fast as it could go before he upgraded to the open class car.
Well, I think we're going to do one of our rewinds as well and look at the mirror race here after it finishes.
Looks like we got Tanner's car right now in the pits, I believe. Rockstar's staying cool.
Yeah, it does look like it's just staying cool, doesn't it? It's just hanging out there, no big deal, ready to go do what needs to be done.
So you brought up the turbo and the non-turbo. What is the difference there as far as overall horsepower or top speed? Or
Yeah, it's a really, really big difference. Not necessarily for top speed, just how fast you get there.
Yeah.
The turbocharged cars are a lot faster, and that's we also call a non-turbo car naturally aspirated, which you might have heard that as well. And they're a much slower. It's just a slower way to put the engine together.
And then we were just seeing there the Ken Block's car, which is the hybrid.
That's definitely a turbocharged car. You see there all the tires that they have sitting there. The tires are such a big deal here. The tire choice, and a lot of times in rallies you'll find that there is a top tire and that all the top teams are running that same tire, but that's not the case today. We've got several different tires out there, and they don't, depending on the driver and the car setup, they don't necessarily seem to be one particular tire is dominating yet.
Well, let's see if we can watch the mirror race in rewind here. Wait. And there's Will, though. We see Will trying to track him down. Let's see if we can grab Mir first, and then we'll take a look at his run.
And at a good point, too, if you want to watch in-car camera footage, you can go to ESPN3.com. That's an insane perspective right there. Definitely one that you're not going to get anywhere else. And it looks like they're putting that car back up on stilts.
Yeah, you guys got to understand that it's standard procedure when a car comes into the pits.
That's how you doing? I'm over here in Dave Mirra's pits, car number 40, and as you can see, the Vermont Sports Car team here at Subaru are working hard. They're trying to situate everything, get the car back up, exchange some tires, change air pressures, all that crazy stuff. I'm going to see if I can sneak a little interview with Dave and see exactly what's going on here. Of course, he's trying to dial in things with his technicians. Dave, he's a little busy right now talking to the team manager, Clint Fast, but as you can see, the guys are working hard on the vehicle right now, trying to get it situated. All right, so as you can see, Dave is talking to the manager, Clint Fast. Let me see if I can sneak in exactly what's going on here. Trying to work out strategy, seems like. Now, Dave Mirra was, of course, the winner of the last seed, so he's going to advance. Of course, everyone's having some issues with the track, so it seems that he's pointing out some items on the track that they were having issues. But I'm going to head back to you guys, and I'm going to see if I can dig a little bit deeper here.
All right, well, thank you, Will, for trying to get a hold of Mirra down there and the update. Let's take a look at Mirra's race here on the rewind. Chrissy, can you talk us through here?
All right, let's see what kind of launch he gets. We heard it all the way over here. We heard Dave's launch, and he was sitting there on that launch control, and that was a really good launch. Look how far ahead he is in the first turn. Dave's got no problems there against Dylan.
And what allows him to be able to pull away like that? Is it skill? Is it the car? What's the mechanism?
Right there, it is a small amount of skill. You definitely have to know how to do it, but the car does a lot of it, and they call that launch control. At some point we should try to hit up Jen for that. She's got a lot of notes on the different types of launch control that these cars have.
We talked earlier about Robbie Madison and the learning curve. I mean, tell us a little bit about Mir and how quickly he's been able to adapt here in these last 4 years.
Well, I'd say, Dave's really kind of come really far in rallying, and but this year he's really been struggling with rallycross. He's having a really hard time. It seems like keeping his car together. He's, I don't really expect him to have any problems today in the Super Rally or the rally car racing, but in the rallycross, when you've got head-to-head stuff, that's stuff that Dave just doesn't have the experience with, and a lot of it really is kind of a mind game when you're really, bumping bumpers, bumping doors, getting your mirror taken off by the next guy. That's a big difference.
Would you say the mindset of a lot of the action sports athletes that have crossed over now in the rally is different than the more traditional raised race car drivers?
Absolutely. Traditionally, race car drivers are used to this wheel-to-wheel thing, and they're used to what you have to think about and how you have to think about stuff. I just turned that off. Looks like we've got a red flag on Dave. I didn't see what happened there.
Thank you.
And the red flag, is that the finish?
Yeah, that's just the end of it there.
So taking a look here and working on Mira's car, I mean, how much of this is fixing problems or just a routine maintenance getting ready for the next race?
I'd say Dave didn't look like he had many problems. When he went over the jump, though, he went a bit long. So they're probably going to be checking out the front of the car a little bit more just to make sure that when he nosed in a little bit that everything's okay up there. Right now we're seeing the rear of the car there. They're checking everything. They go through and they're measuring to make sure that nothing got bent during that run. They're making sure that all the bolts are tight. They're pretty much just making sure everything is totally tip-top.
Well, Chrissy, thank you for joining us, giving us all the insight. We're going to give you a little break here for a while and then bring you back in for the finals.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
But thank you. And for all you guys at home, get your questions ready because later on, should be sitting back in the hot seat. Send them in to us and we'll blast them over to her.
And we already got quite a few questions on the Skate Street Finals. Kier, what do you think? Scheckler versus Cole versus Houston?
You know, we're getting ready to bring in the man that can give a true, authentic answer here with Day One, but I'm going to go Nyjah. I feel like his ability to be consistent with the big tricks and then just tweaking it a little bit is going to allow him to pull us out.
I'm going to take Scheckler on this one. He seemed so focused yesterday, so I think it's really going to be interesting to see what happens with him, and then, like you said, get Day One's perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah, because let's be real, no one cares what we think.
Nobody does, and it doesn't matter what we think. It actually matters what you guys think. Keep sending us in those questions, and hopefully we can get a new hashtag going on when we get Day One here. Should we get out the
yeah, let's get the
sketch pad. Should we just go hashtag XCast perhaps?
Doing all right. Day One.
What up, Day One?
Yeah, this is all you. What? While we get Day One in the mix here and get him ready, let's toss it down to Jordan, who was able to catch up and give us a report on Nyjah.
All right, well, we see Nyjah Houston out here in Heat 1, and I caught up with him before the actual contest today. He was the first one out here in practice, and I was like, why are you the only one out here? And he said that he was really trying to go for that gap from the hip to the hubba. He said it was super high, and I think you guys saw him land it here for the first time in his first run, so that's what's going on. And in terms of preparation, he said he just needs a good night's sleep, goes over his lines, comes out here, does his thing. That's how these skaters are. They got it dialed right up here.
And it's just... let's take a look at Nyjah's run here. We got Day One in the mix now. Second run here. We had heard the report from Jordan.
Wow.
And talk about it, and he has just been on fire this year with the Street League, 3 in a row. Your thoughts on him coming into this contest and being able to walk away with a top spot?
Oh, with Nyjah, he's insane. He's like, it's weird too because I was thinking, oh, sorry.
He was chin.
Well, he's just, I don't know, he's like one of the new guys that just came out. I mean, he's been around for a while, but his capability, like at one point you would think, okay, he just skates contests, but throughout video parts and stuff, you realize that this kid is everything. He does it all. And then you were thinking once he cut his dreads, was he gonna lose his powers? But all of a sudden, bam, he's even better. So, look at that. He does everything so spot on.
Yeah, the cutting of the dreads did absolutely nothing negative.
You'd think, take away some sort of, I think that's a trend too. Adelmo Jr. cut his, he cut his. But, wow, Nyjah's, he's insane.
Well, let's first give you a proper intro. One of the most influential skaters ever on the planet.
Oh,
you did the real skate video. Oh, come on, man. such an influence on the street scene and what you've been able to do for our sport. We just appreciate you coming in here to XCast.
Oh, no problem. This is awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
man.
And hopefully we get to check out that Real Street video part.
Awesome.
I know that was one of the top viewed videos on our X Games YouTube
awesome.
channel from all of them.
Because I was watching myself all day.
Yeah, right.
It on replay. Yeah, and if you guys have questions for Daewon, send them in. Daewon, I know we have a couple already. I know there are a lot of guys in the final, but Sammy K. Battle wants to know Scheckler versus Cole versus Houston. Like, of those top three,
That's
what's
a
your
tough
pick and
one,
why?
but honestly, for me, my pick would be Cole, because I've been a fan of his for a while, and I've known him for a while too, from back in the days. You know, when he came into like my hotel room and got on my board, and then ollied and front crooked my bed, and then ollie flipped off. And I was like, wow, okay, this guy's insane. Ever since then, it was just, you know, that came out wrong. That could have came out wrong too, ever since he got in my bed. But I mean, on my bed, skating. So it was insane. And so my bet's for Cole, but then Nyjah, wow, you know. And then Scheckler too, he always, last minute, you never know what he's gonna do. So it's those three. You can't say. It's always just a gamble. You never know. So, I mean, respect for all three of them. But I'm going to say Cole. So next time he gets an interview, he could say me.
What about your thoughts on Ryan DeCenzo? I mean,
Ryan DeCenzo's, he's an insane skateboarder too as well. I mean, I don't even know where everybody's placings are right now. Are those the top three right now?
Well, right now we're in Heat 1. Nyjah's in first with an 85. Ryan's in third with an 83. You can see it on bomb score.
Ryan DeCenzo definitely is. He'll come at a. Yeah, he'll definitely. I don't know. He's one of those guys too.
Let's take a look.
He qualified first yesterday, right? So.
Yeah, yes, he did. Let's take a look at his run here. Give you a look at it. Now you talked about before about the whole contest skating, and looking at the setup here, trying to replicate.
Yeah, this one I
session
actually
out there.
seen this, and I was so surprised when I seen this. I couldn't believe it. It looks so fun to skate. There's so much to it, and it just makes it look like you're out somewhere, you know? Yeah, he's Ryan DeCenzo. Him and his brother are both amazing, and they both, you know. And a lot of people don't know that. It's rare to see two brothers that kill it. He's one of those few that have two, you know, a brother that kills it just as well.
Have you been able to get out here at all?
I just got here today. It's my first time. I think this is actually the first time I've ever been to an X Games.
Well, welcome.
I know, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we were not
so
happy
I embraced
that it
the
took
whole
you.
thing and had a, you know, customized X shirt. So
I haven't seen that DVS shirt. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that must be a new one that they're making.
we are bummed it took you 17 years to get here, but happy that you've joined us now.
I might have been here once though. I don't remember because we were coming up the escalator and I was like, I have been here, but it's like an escalator. I can't judge it off that. So
well, let's talk about the real street.
Okay.
You being able to piece together a video for us. As Mick pointed out, one of the highest viewed videos that we had.
Yeah, definitely one of the highest viewed videos, and I think we're gonna look at DeCenzo, maybe another look at him, but his real street part. We're gonna look at his, and maybe you can talk Daewon a little bit after that about the process, and you know, it's kind of a new way of being competing at X Games, I guess,
yeah, exactly.
with a video
I mean,
part.
It's definitely an easier way for me, just because I get so, I don't know, for me, like, people become like, it's like people are watching me in person, I get all kryptonite, I can't even walk, you know? It's like that syndrome when you used to walk home from school, and all of a sudden, you know, you were self-conscious, like, is this backpack cool, or my pants cool? And then this cool car pulls up, they're bumping music, you're like, oh, you start changing your walk a little bit, you're like, oh. You know, and then that's what happens when I skate.
So Rodney should have brought like a bunch of people around.
Yeah, so that's what I needed to do, is get used to that, and I never did, you know? Even though when I do a demo, I guess I shut people out, and I'm like, okay, but I mean, still I'm nervous, you know? Half the time I do demos, I'm completely nervous. Even at this point, like 20 years of being pro, still nervous.
But that's because you want to put the best out there.
Yeah, or I just don't want to fall in an awkward way where they're like, whoa, this guy's unstable. So, but all in all, you know, I got to get over that. So, like I said, the video, I was able to hide behind a curtain and then say, ta-da!
Like,
you
boom,
know?
here it is.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at DeCenzo's video. Get your thoughts and comments on this.
Okay. seen one person do a flip trick over it was Aaron Artis back in the days, but he grabbed it. It was a kickflip melon, and then he just kind of upped the ante years later, but still, frontside flip over, that's huge.
And you made mention there early on in the video about that probably was his first attempt at the trick.
Yeah, well, a lot of this stuff, like if you watch some of these guys, they're so gifted. Some of that stuff's first try, but some of the spots they skate, you almost want it to be first try because the chance of you getting messed up or just broke off is, it's like first or not, you know? Some of these spots they skate, you can't skate it for 2 hours. You won't be able to walk for the rest of your life.
Well, current heat leader, let's take a look at one of his last runs, see if he's transferring the real street over here to the course. And analyze his run of some of the other competitors like Nigel.
Okay.
Like what separates him from the rest of the field here being the leader?
This is still the same run. Is this live? Yep.
It rewinds. It's his third run.
Well, first off, he just did a switch front 3 board slide down a rail, which is scary as hell, so mixing that in automatically it's not like a go-to trick. And he's probably gonna, the tail slide, he seems to have that unlocked, which is a safe thing to just, you know, tie that back into your run. And the thing about that too is people don't know that this guy is insane on tranny too. Front 3, off that to flat, safe bet is to land back on, but he wants to do the, you know, straight to flat, which is, you gotta take more impact, and then that, wow. Front blunts, way harder on a hubba than a rail.
Yeah?
Yeah, because on a rail you can always droop it. On a hubba you have to stay you gotta stay vertical, and the chance of sticking is a lot, you know, you got more of a chance of sticking on a hubba. Just like back nose blunts, front blunts, on actual ledges where your wheels and you have to stay vertical, for some reason it's just harder.
Well, hopefully we have that
was a good run.
We have your video.
My video is just messing around on a bunch of rocks.
We're gonna be able to pull your video up here in a little bit in between heat 1 and 2.
Awesome.
Talk us through the mindset of that. Right now, Letska on course. After just seeing Ryan's run right there, what does Letska need to do to be able to get into that second place position?
Well, he just took his foot off that trick, but nowadays you can just say that was part of something. You know what I mean? A quick push to get extra speed, so you might get extra points for that. You never know. And Letska usually he keeps it. You know, he has like some tricks that his go-tos. You know, but his go-tos are definitely pretty insane, anyways. So he usually mixes it up pretty good. I mean, right now, I mean, this run it looks like he kind of lost his momentum. He's kind of over it. But he's insane in contest too. He's another one of those guys, you never know how they could either go from last to first just by not being over it or just saying, you know what, today's the day I'm gonna win. Yeah. So
the mental will. So Mick, what do we have over there? Anyone online throwing out some questions here, whether for Daewon?
Question from Gareth Draper. Daewon, have you ever quit skateboarding for a while? Maybe it's just alluding to kind of taking some time off.
You know what, it's crazy that he said that. There was actually a time where I wanted to, you know, I guess not all of us, but I started dropping my cars and then actually started dropping cars in front of my house, and I thought that, you know what, skating's cool, but I want to drop cars for a living. So I was getting under there with my Makita cutters and actually dropping people's cars, and I actually had one where they didn't put the tire under and we had an unstable jack and the car missed me by about a foot of me pulling my leg out and the whole car coming down. So I would have really had to quit skating then.
Wow.
So thank God, but I mean, I tried that venture and then, you know, hanging out in Long Beach and stuff, but I got caught up with some stupid things and arrows ending up in my car, so I had to get out of that and get back into skating. So around that was around between 96 and 98. Like right then and there in 97, I had a little wake-up call and I filmed a video part to try to, and I went from there. But I almost, around 97, I think I was almost on my way out.
Sometimes you need that wake-up call.
Got caught up. Donuts and gangs.
And on that note, Jack Denham, he wants to know, when did you realize all you wanted to do was skate? Was that like, were you a Grom, or who was your inspiration? Like, what really sparked the whole skateboarding thing in your life?
Well, first off,
and
like any kid, my mom
does Rodney Mullen have anything to do with it?
Oh, well, Rodney Mullen brought me into the industry for sure. But how I started, my mom just got me a typical junk board from like a department store, you know? And it went from there, and I actually rode on my knees for 2 years almost, which is embarrassing to say now.
Say rode on your knees?
Not 2 years, not 2 years. Whoa, that's pushing it. 6 months. I rode on my knees, and I was 14. I started late. And then it went from there, and then all of a sudden, like, trying to figure out one trick got me so frustrated I couldn't sleep. I didn't even want to eat dinner. And I was like, wow, this is super stressful, but at the same time fun. And it just went from there. And then later down the line, like 2.5 years later, Rodney seen me at some little ghetto school, and I was thinking, what's Rodney doing here? This is a crazy ghetto school, and people get their cameras jacked, and I had a dirty clothes on. I looked like I blended right in. So he actually saw me, and he was like, all right, this kid's pretty good. And then I seen him later, and he actually hit me up and said, you know what, can we start sending you stuff? And it went from there. Rodney's a huge inspiration for me, and he's still on top of the game. So he's staying low key now, but wait till the Almost video comes out.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, everybody on the Almost team's gonna, I think the video is gonna be something special. That sounded weird, huh? Something special.
Something special, special sauce.
Special.
Well, speaking of videos, let's check out your
sweat coming off of my forehead.
That's some special sauce.
Yeah.
Let's check out your real street part here, and just kind of walk us through what your mindset was, what you're hoping to accomplish.
All right. Okay, those kids kept getting in the way because school was getting out, and then I just let me smash over these rocks. That's me sitting in a little kid's chair, but it actually looks normal. That's sad. And then this I had to grab because.
That's sick.
And then I boomeranged back. A lot of people thought I cheated, and I was like, I was just having fun. That was actually just a little rock spot. This is that's at El Camino College. I'm letting everybody know all the spots so they can go and do better stuff. This place, you actually have to downhill to that thing, which people don't realize. And then that's a Rick flip to pivot grind 270 in. I don't like that shirt anymore. Nollie bigger heel. You can actually see the filmer shoeing that, but in this you didn't.
Kick sponsor plug.
Kickflip pole jam. This is in Long Beach. It's actually a crazy spot where you see people stealing bikes and then trading them back into the bathroom. And then that one was just all dizzy, so I went and got me a sourdough burger and Jack in the Box right after.
Talk about your skate goggles. Just even the last shot there, the way that you perceive terrain and just your environment is completely different than everyone else.
You know what it is too, is sometimes instead of me always trying to find somewhere where everybody's going, sometimes I'm just driving and I see something and I just want to see if I can actually skate it. And believe me, there's been times where I'm just sitting at a spot for 2 hours. I'm like, what am I doing here? This spot does suck. But then there's times where I actually finally figure something out, and then I end up getting something, and then people see it and go, where is that? And they actually go, and then you end up seeing it in more and more videos. And it's just people have been skating rocks for a while too, like Sean Sheffian, an old Plan B video, and it's just the fact of don't limit yourself to anything. Just skate. We could flip this over and figure something out, or you could even crook it around the top of your computer, but we're not going to do that. So, but I'm just saying, you just got to figure out. Go have fun with it. That's the key thing, is don't worry about, oh my God, I got to end up at this spot to be seen, to get known. This has been done, and I got to do something better. Just go and knock something over. Shoot your board into a trash can, and then, I don't know, just do whatever you want. Yeah, try to be creative at the same time and have fun with it. That's the main thing.
Well, for you guys, if you got any good spots out there too that you don't think he's seen, hit us up. Let's
send them my way, directions and everything. Because I need some spots. I'm sick of skating rocks.
Question too, this Roy on our live XCast just asked, what do you think about the current state of skateboarding and maybe action sports in general?
I know it's crazy because when you talk to people, a lot of people have mixed reviews about what is going on in skateboarding, how big it's gotten, and with all these new contests coming in effect too. And I think it's good. At one point, I could say I was sitting in a room thinking, oh man, do I really like this? But honestly, how great is it? It's opening up to everyone. And I think that people who don't even skateboard or not, they can understand it, they can watch it, they can see the lifestyle and appreciate it, And I think that that's a key thing in what we do, and it's more acceptable because, there was a time where skateboarders were compared to oh, they're skaters, they're gangsters, cops would just arrest you for having it was insane. Where now you almost, I'm skating a spot and I see a couple or a family and they're just smiling at me and they know I'm having a good time, so I'm just
yeah, they know who you are and they want to geek out.
They know they get to see more of it and what's involved with it. It's not just we're not just troublemakers or
Well, we're still a little bit of troublemakers.
I know, yeah. We still have to break the rules to get some footage.
But we were on ABC Sports earlier today, skateboarding. Does that blow your mind that?
That's insane. Yeah, that's insane. And that's great. That's opened up that much. So maybe we won't be so hassled as much, But, we got to cut back too on some people, you have to learn how to respect it. If somebody does tell you to leave and you're on their property,
Yeah.
it sucks at one point, but sometimes you just got to man up and just go, okay, let's get out of here and respect these people instead of let's start something with them, because then that just causes trouble everywhere,
Look at you getting wise.
I know, but I don't want to, I'm not too wise, you guys. Because I've had my bad run-ins.
Damian Savage wants to know, what is your favorite skate spot? I know that's probably a hard question to answer, but
favorite skate spot? You know what I always say? There's a place in San Pedro under the bridge I usually go to because it's mellow, and you see this certain type of breed of skateboarders come out of there, and they're not spoiled. They just go for it, and you see kids with the worst setups. The board doesn't even look. The board's like it started out as 31, but it's ended up to this, and they've somehow figured it out, and they still skate it. Those kids, they got so much drive and passion. You get a lot of, I don't know, strong characters at a place like that.
Yeah, well, speaking of drive and passion, Jordan down with Nyjah, who's clearly got a lot of drive and passion. What do you got?
Ready? You're hot. Let's go.
All right, well, I've been catching up with Nyjah Houston. I know you want to go talk to your friends, but I got to ask you just one quick question. You were taking lines out there that nobody else was taking, and I know that you were practicing a couple of things this morning, and you got most of that out. Take us through what was going on the course.
Yeah, practice went really good today. After seeing what happened yesterday and seeing what kind of lines and tricks got good points, I kind of had a better idea of what to do today. And so I figured out a couple of new tricks to do, like that gap to 5.0. That worked out really good. And then pretty much for the finals, I'm just going to replace some harder tricks for some easier tricks that I was doing right there. So it should go good.
All right, he's giving us the inside scoop. If this was on the big screen, you wouldn't be giving this away, but that's what you guys get here on XCast. So I'll let you say hey to your fans, and I'll let you run away.
Yeah. Thank you.
Such a nice, humble kid. All right, you go get ready for the finals. Guys, it's madness back here.
All right, thank you, Jordan. I mean, talk about that, just the preparation for a contest or preparation when you know you're going out filming. I mean, what kind of headspace do you like to get yourself in?
Well, that's the difference. Like when you're actually going to film, there's a lot of people don't realize that when they watch these video parts, some people have been working on those video parts for 3 years, even 2 years, and some people maybe 1 year. It just depends on what limit you're pushing for. So say for instance you're working on like just a web clip to promote a shoe, then you can work on it for like 2 months, 3 months, but it just depends on the quality of footage you want to put out. So there's it's when you're actually filming, you lose your mind sometimes. You're just like, oh, it's like, it's a pure example of like trying to throw a shoe up onto that skyscraper and land exactly onto that light. And we're just sitting here for, just come on, and you and me are just, and it almost is like your career depends on it. So, it gets pretty frustrating. But once you do that, man, it's so rewarding. We've all thrown a pebble and hit it in a cup, and you're just like, whoa, you give yourself props, and it's just, so, oh, sorry about that. Wish I would have made it into a plane before it took off.
Well, coming up, we have Chris Cole, Ryan Sheckler. Your thoughts on these two coming in here to the second round?
Well, my thoughts on Chris Cole. When you watch his parts too, his video parts, he progresses a lot in every video part, and he tries to do a lot of what they call MBDs, things that have never been done on a skateboard, and that's always impressive when you watch somebody's part. That's what people want to see, They pop in a video and they go, has that ever been done? They have to compare it, they type it in on YouTube or whatnot, and it goes, wow, I can't find it. It hasn't been done, and it's pretty insane. And Sheckler, he's been in the contest circuit for so long, and he's always, he stays on top. So, and that's awesome too. And when he does film video parts, he shocks people too. So that's awesome for him.
Daewon,
but like I said,
you made a good point about YouTube, and most of the people watching us right now are on the web. They're asking questions. They're using Facebook, Twitter. How do you think that has changed the skateboarding industry and being able to reach the masses?
YouTube and how fast everything hits the web has sped everybody up, where usually you could walk somewhere, and now you have to run while you're in a car. You know what I mean? It moves so fast. Like before, when I was skating, I had to wait a year to see something new. So there was nothing really to like gauge, like, oh my God, that's what everybody's doing? I gotta work on that. we were like in a dark cave going, I wonder what they're up to out there. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, they got titanium spears and we're still working with wood ones, So nowadays, it's in a matter of 10 minutes, you're like, oh, titanium spear. Oh, diamond plated. Oh, in 10 more minutes, diamond plated with feathers. So it moves so fast that you're updated every minute, where I think that's helped the progression of skateboarding so nuts. I go to skate parks and sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to skate. These kids are nuts. You know? I look like I'm trying to get, I'm going to skate in front of them to try to get on their team, because they're so good. But you can't hate on progression. That's what I've always hoped for skateboarding, is as long as it keeps progressing, that's what we want.
And do you spend a lot of time on YouTube looking at videos?
I watch a lot of kids. I appreciate anything, and I watch a lot of videos. I'm almost like, I'm pretty nerdy when it comes to just watching people skate. I love it,
And are you on Twitter? Is there a Facebook page?
No, you know what? I do have a Twitter account set up. It's Day One Almost Twitter or something, but I don't really use it. And I don't actually have a Facebook, so... And I don't, it's crazy, but I just I know there's like a Facebook that's not mine, but who knows, but I just don't really use that stuff right now, and I'm not, that stuff's great for everybody, and it's a good way to Well,
here's your boy Chris Cole on the screen, warming up, and it was cool yesterday, we were talking to him, and he was saying he's got zero preparation, zero planned runs, he just goes out there and freestyles it.
Yeah, Chris Cole, he's too good to have to prep, it's like he's like a chef. They already know all the ingredients there and here. He just goes and does it.
Yeah, he's talking about
at the same time, though, when people expect so much from you, it kind of gets you nervous, too. Back three, that's kind of his signature. The biggest thing that's ever out there, he's done the biggest. And then that's him just messing around, for sure. Sounds like they're dragging a building.
If you guys can't hear that at home, the rally car's lighting it up for us.
Oh, okay.
As we
you can tell Chris Cole,
here.
And he tried a nollie late flip, which that just shows, like, when he starts doing that, he's just messing around. He's kind of like, he's probably just over it. But this guy, if you haven't got a chance, check out his video parts. He's insane.
Let's take a look at this whole run here.
So a little 50, set off, nollie 180 to set up for something, and switch tray flip. It's crazy too, because wow, just that combination right there. Switch tray and then a back three flip over the hip to do that quick.
So he says he doesn't prepare, but he's in his head. He's got the elements.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he knows. He's got to know where he's going.
Yeah, and it's all the setup too of a course. Like sometimes, like I said, how he did that switch tray flip. When you come off on tranny, sometimes you're unstable, like your body's not set up right. And then he set himself right back up for that back three flip, and then he nailed the back three. But he keeps trying that.
Day One, favorite skater on the Almost skate team?
Rodney, for sure. And a lot of people out there think that there's some weird rivalry between me and Rodney because of all the Versus videos. But that's just all, it's to be able to be such good friends, you can do that. If you're not friends with somebody, you're like Versus, it becomes like some weird, if I see him here, I'm going to just eye him and be like, hey, I don't know if I like you.
That's
but with
more
Rodney,
healthy.
With Rodney, I've known him forever. And at the same time, though, it does become a competition. But between me and Rodney, thank you guys. Woo!
We got the fans going off here. Speaking of Versus, we got Cole versus Ryan Sheckler. Now he completely has a plan coming into here.
Yeah, for sure. Sheckler always has his, he's got something set up. Thank you guys. Those aren't mine. But I'm gonna be around though. I'm gonna find you guys.
Day One getting beat up by our fans. I mean, talk about Sheckler's pop. The way that he attacks.
Sheckler's he can go down some big stuff, and he's got some pop. And he's one of them guys too. Like at one point, you were thinking, okay, he's gonna pull something out new, and then he does end up bringing out something new. So I have a lot of respect for him. And at one point he was part. I skated for the same company with him, so it's pretty good. I've got to know him when he was younger, so it's pretty fun watching him grow up, go through some stuff, and now he's like, he's taking care of it. I still got my money on Chris Cole though.
You what?
I still got my money on Chris Cole. I bet 50.
What do we got
some
here?
Some random dude.
How much money you got?
Wait, this is Sheckler, right? Yeah, he just did kickflip front board. And with him too, is like you said, he does always have, I'm sure he does freestyle it too sometimes, but he definitely has a plan set aside, like what he's gonna exactly do, and which in this case, like you should, it's nice too. But in some case, like you have people like Dennis Buznitz who kind of just goes out there. Wherever he ends up, he's like, let me hit that. Oh, look at this liquor store. I'm going to grab a drink here, and then there's Taco Bell. I'm going to grab a taco. You know, they just go for it.
Let's take another look here at his run. Completely different line than for the elimination round.
Wow, that looks fun. Backsmith over the roof. Oh, man.
Big one.
It's crazy, too, because see how he was set up, but then all of a sudden he kind of had like a minute of like, oh, man, that's a nice front feeble. Front feeble is pretty scary down long things, just for the fact of like getting stuck and falling backwards. Wow.
The thing I like about it is he mixes it up, whether it's the ledge, whether it's the tranny.
Yeah, and he gets, exactly. And he has, you know, with him too, he can skate. Wow, that was awesome. So he did that, little kickflip front board.
And remember,
it's actually a really good run. Oh, they're actually going together. It's
I remember you guys at home.
It's weird to see Chris Cole fall. So that's pretty awesome. Like I said, it's pretty hot out today too. So look at that. Look how easy he did that. Because you can show somebody else try to do a back 3 board slide on a rail and completely die, and you think, wow, that's nuts. But you watch him do it, and you think you can just wake up and go do it. Nose bump down the big rail.
And I mean, you made mention there too about the heat.
Oh, kickflip late 180 pivot. Most people would say he cheated, but I'm going to say he just added a little extra element.
We already know you're biased, though.
Yeah. But I have...
Day one, another
I'm just
good
keeping an open mind for this thing.
Another good question from online from Brandon Belafontaine from Illinois. What advice would you give to a person who wants to become a pro one day?
First and foremost, you got to just have fun with it. Stop focusing on, hey, I got to get a camera, I got to have my friend film me, and I got to be frustrated and focus my board. And, you know, just go have fun with it. On top of that, you have all the outlets now. You got YouTube, you got all these outlets where if it is your time and you're putting stuff and posting videos, people are going to see it and you'll be noticed. But like I said, have fun first. Don't get so frustrated and caught up with yourself expecting you to be the world's best skateboarder overnight.
Let's take a look here. Oh, take a look at your boy. This is the run that we just watched, the rewind.
It's like he heard me say that and he's doing this on purpose. Falling, which he doesn't do.
Well, in 5th place right now, 11 minutes left. Scheckler, Ortiz, and Cole are all out of the finals as of now. They need to take down Let's Go with an 81.
Okay. Oh, this is the same run. Yeah, he's, like I said too, he does like fakey ollie, fakey back tail down rails and stuff like that in your run. It's actually not like a go-to trick. I don't think so, you know, but for him it's a go-to, but it's actually like, you know, a couple years back, those were like tricks that ended your part. 270 board slides, back 3 flips, he does them down huge things.
So you're not really a contest guy, but now what does Chris need to do here to bump himself up into the top 2 spots here?
I think all he needs to do is find one thing. Maybe if he back 3 flips over the stairs and over the rail. I don't know what the rail is set up like, but that trick too, sometimes it's hard to get up in the air. You almost need time to just kind of float it down. But if he did that down the rail, over the rail and over the stairs, that could definitely set him apart. But I think he's just having fun right now and skating. He doesn't care. And like I said too, it's good for people to see like a guy like him that's at his level where he's such a good skateboarder, and when he does fall, we all have our bad days, you know, and it kind of keeps everybody out there, like we talked about too, is just don't be so serious. Have a good time. Fall on a nollie 180, who cares? Get up and smile. It's not a big deal.
There you
Checker
go.
just did the kickflip, and he can do that down the biggest stuff. Oh. It's crazy because he messed up on the kickflip, but he did the front feeble. It's like a mind. It messes with your mind. Okay, kickflip worked out perfect. Now I'm gonna go front feeble, the rail I always do, and then all of a sudden you're overconfident, you know? That happens to me just.
Hey, day one, Matt Adam wants to know, when did you realize skateboarding could be a career?
You know what? To this day, I still don't think it. I'm just playing. Probably as of like in 2000, after maybe being pro for like 10 years. I finally realized, because you know at the beginning it was a slow thing and skateboarding was a lot smaller. It had a point in skateboarding where it just died down. And
rally going off again.
Sorry about that. There was a crazy noise of the building getting dragged again, but yeah, like I said, you just gotta. It just depends. Everything's different. If you know you can do it, and when you start getting endorsements and you can start getting more involved with these companies and start pushing the brands and getting your face out there and people appreciate it, and you film like you get a fan base and people appreciate what you do, and mixing fun is the most important thing. You can, you know, that's when you realize like you can.
Well, making it happen. I mean, your boy. I think Jordan's able to catch up with Chris Cole's wife. Let's see what you got down there. Speaking of making a life out of skateboarding. Jordan?
All right, guys, I'm standing right here with Chris Cole's wife, Red, and you're actually trying to watch his run right now. You guys have been together for 10 years, but does it ever get easier coming out here and watching him?
No, it's always nerve-wracking. It's always, you know, we always have like a plan. Like we just want to kind of escape from the kids a little bit. It sounds bad, but it's not. Escape from them, just have a good time. That's pretty much essential. Just have a good time and just kind of forget about the nerves of it all.
Well, that's good. Now, he's not a nervous skater. He doesn't get stressed, does he?
He does. He just doesn't show it. You know, he gets nervous just like anyone would. You have like thousands of people watching you. You're on TV. You don't want to fall. You know, like people counting on you. But he doesn't show it much. And we just try to like surround ourselves with good people and the good times, and then it kind of alleviates itself.
You guys are, you know, such a good little couple, good team. What is it about Chris? He's so creative. What is it that you think people relate to?
He's just really, like, he wears his heart on his sleeve, you know? He's really honest about his feelings. He doesn't put on airs. I mean, everything that you see with Chris is really him. Like, that's how he is at home. It's no different when he's on TV or skating. She's just a normal person, and I think people can relate to it because he's a skate rat, you know? Kids like to see just skate rats, real skaters, and it's really easy for kids to relate to him, I think.
He's real, he's raw. I'm going to let you get back over there and watch. Let's watch her go back to her perch. Thank you. Look at this. Look at this VIP seat she's got. She's actually right there in the mix behind the riders. She can give Chris a little back massage if she needs it. Chris Cole, such a creative skater. He can skate anything, and he's doing it right here today.
After selling him out there about being nervous, she should be hooking him up with some back rubs. But let's take a look again at the last run that we just saw. Chris still looking to throw down a full pull here with 6 minutes left as we take a look here.
Okay. He just backheeled up the roof gap, or up the Euro. Kickflip in. Oh my god. Okay, this run he's taking more serious now.
And just going down on the simple stuff.
Yeah. He just did the back 3 flip, which is like, you know, he just does it so casual, like he's just doing a 180. It's insane. He's gonna do this now. See, that trick just keeps giving him a problem. Maybe it's just that his board's waterlogged.
What is that last trick that he's?
Just a nollie late front foot flip, and it's crazy because he probably does that every try. But like you said, you know, that little ounce of nervousness.
Yeah.
Like this trick's so easy, I'm gonna do it, and all of a sudden you fall.
Well, Ryan Scheckler right now is going off on the live part. We'll rewind this run, get you to look at the way that he's attacking, and
he just kept.
I like Chris's wife saying that, the skater.
Hey, Day One, talk about the pressure a little bit, you know, with the people under the lights, the cameras everywhere. I mean, some guys it seems it really gets to them. Other guys, it just it's like it's not even there.
There's definitely your mixture of skateboarders. Like you got people who love it, love the spotlight, love being in front of the cameras, and they actually feed off it, you know. And they feed off the fans. I think all of the pro skaters love the fans, but I think some really feed off of them, like when they cheer them and stuff like that. Then you got the middle crowd who they're still a little nervous, and then you got the people who are just not social whatsoever, that don't even want to come around it. They're so afraid of it, and it's crazy because you have to kind of you got to promote yourself a little. Yeah. You can't stay in a cave your whole life, you know?
Well, it's all how you deal with it. I mean, let's look at the man that deals with pressure, probably with, you know, up there with Shaun White as one of the best.
Yeah, he definitely has been in a life. I mean, he's been in the X Games forever since he's been 14, you know, and a lot of people have watched him. I mean, when you think of X Games too, you always incorporate Sheckler, and then he had his show, and he's had a lot of things going on, so he's definitely more in the limelight as to opposed to where Chris Cole, he's definitely out there a lot, but he's more on, I would say, like the more underground side of skateboarding too, that a lot of people that come to the X Games don't get a chance to see, you know? And I think that it's a nice mixture, you know? So Chris Cole, I think, I would say, isn't used to as much of the spotlight where Sheckler is, but they both definitely aren't afraid of it, you know? And then you got other guys like, I mean, for instance, like me, I'm a little more like, I get a little nervous, even now, like coming here too, but you guys made me feel uncomfortable, and it's like the scene out here too, it's so comfortable, it's like relaxing. I feel like I'm just sitting at home at the desk, and
you are just sitting at home, we're just chilling.
Yeah,
But,
this is actually, that's
a friend of mine said the other day, he said, pressure is a privilege, and maybe not even for contest speaking, but even talking about doing videos and filming. I mean, do you really feel that, like, the ability to have pressure allows you to rise to the occasion? Like self-imposed?
Yeah, exactly. If there was no pressure, it wouldn't be fun. It's just like, you know, any sort of like pressure or having to get something done, it makes you want to do it. You know, you hear about a lot of people later down the lines, like they retire and then they end up just being so bored, you know? And it's like, you want to have something to do. So it's like, oh, you know, when you have that, and in skating, it's like something you've never accomplished on your skateboard, you want to do that, so you put that pressure on you. You got to do it. Then you kids want to see you do something because they think that you're capable of doing it. They're like, oh, we've watched all your videos, and you do this trick and you do this trick. Put them together for me, please. You know, and then you end up trying to do that to produce a video part, and then they end up watching it, and you get that satisfaction as well as those people, you know, and it's just, it works out so good.
Well, speaking of pressure, Malto was in the second place position for almost this whole round. Now with a minute and 50, the pressure is on him.
Oh.
Or actually, he's ahead of Letska, so I guess he still is technically in there. So I spoke too soon.
Yeah, Malto's a rad skateboarder too. He's really like a mellow, low-key guy, but he definitely, he's been one of the new up-and-coming guys that you really, his video parts are really good. Like when you watch it, you see a lot of new tricks. He's smooth, sometimes makes it look effortless, so he's definitely another one of those guys that's, you know, fun to watch.
Hey, Day One, we got another question here from Gareth Draper from the United Kingdom. Have you ever had a 9-to-5 job?
No, I actually didn't, but I actually helped somebody who was living, like my dad got a roommate at our house, just somebody who came down. I don't know, that sounds weird, but he rented out a room for some extra cash. You know how that is. And the guy actually offered me a job while I was skateboarding because I wasn't making any money, and I helped him paint a whole house. And I was like, wow, I'm really gonna get paid off for this. He gave me $10
for the whole house.
For the whole house. I mean, I'm pretty much Daniel, you know, Karate Kid the whole thing, and all of a sudden he gives me $10. And he was thinking, okay, you're 13, $10 is huge. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm used to getting, you know, $20 at least and going to get some G.I. Joes and some Garbage Pail Kids, and this isn't gonna get me nothing. So
it was like skateboard contests in the beginning. Here's $100.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's crazy how much crazier skateboarding's gotten with the endorsements and stuff. It's changed so much, you know. It's going to like these prize-winning contests that were like $100 or, you know, $200 at the most. And now it's like you got $50,000 and $100,000 out there, you know?
Nige, 150.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sheckler hanging out, and let's just take a look at his last run. Changed up his line. Would you say that this, after looking at it, is this a new line where he's trying to suss out some new tricks, maybe for the finals, or is he just taking it easy here? Let's take a look.
It's crazy too, because that back three, like I said, sometimes when things are so easy for you, like he back threes down the biggest things, but like that pressure kicks in. Ooh, that's crazy. Like to do stand-up back nose grind, crooked grinds, you can actually put all your weight on it and just sit there. But he's doing a stand-up back nose grind, which is a lot harder. The chance of like messing up, you know, 50-50. Big spin flip. That trick you rarely see in contests. It's like a lot of people do have it dialed, but honestly, it's not really a go-to where you think you're gonna just land it every try.
And why is that?
I don't know. Just because I don't know how it flips. Even for me, I can do that trick, but I definitely wouldn't throw it in a contest run because I'd probably fall, you know. So it's just weird to throw that in. It's good to throw it in there because I think the judges too, or whoever's watching, is gonna go, wow, you rarely see a big spin flip in a contest run. So that'll actually give him hopefully some extra points. Even though I don't even know how the whole point system works, but this is fun. Good learning experience.
Well, there is our final. DeCenzo, Houston
killed it.
Luan, Scheckler, Ortiz. And your thoughts here as we roll into the final? Your previous pick, Chris Cole out. Now do you have a new favorite?
I'm gonna go with Houston, or I'm gonna go with O'Neal. O'Neal's really, he's a gifted skateboarder too. He's always trying to, I like the way his mind works. He's always going for something new on his skateboard, trying to create something that hasn't been done. I really like seeing that in skateboarders. So, those are my, so Cole's out, huh?
Yeah.
I jinxed him. Damn it.
If you wouldn't have came on here, you kept your mouth shut.
Man. Thank you. Well, that's all right. He kills it at everything else anyways.
Yeah, he's not suffering. A fellow Pennsylvania boy, too.
And I just can't wait. I look forward to any of his new video parts that come out, too.
And there's the, I mean, just looking at the camera now and the chorus, and you just saw a shot of the madness. It's just like, I feel like everyone just comes out of the woodwork for the X Games and for these bigger events. You know, it's like a reunion almost.
That's what's awesome about it. You get such a crazy mixture of like people, you know? You're just like, wow, you're into that, you're into this. It's just all these people, and that's what's great about it. It's like, why not? You know what I mean? It gets boring. It's like high school, you know? You go to high school, everybody goes there to learn, but everybody's so different, you know? And the school I went to was pretty insane. You know, we had race wars, we had crazy, like the dance crew, the breakdancing crew, the taggers, the bangers, the nerds, the skaters. But we were all still together in one big school.
And where'd you go to school?
Gardena High. A little rough school.
Day one, Matt Adams wants to know favorite flat ground trick.
Favorite flat ground trick used to be a nollie back hill, but now it's still a tray flip or a 360 kick flip. I know people get mad like tray flip. I hate how that sounds. You know, they hate abbreviations. Everything's so abbreviated through text. So 360 flip. Nollie back hill used to be, but for some reason, since my trucks are so wobbly now, it's like a hit or miss.
Catching some Twitter hate.
Yeah.
That's not even a tray flip.
That ain't a tray flip. It's a 360 kick flip. So at least I cleared that.
Yeah, I mean, we got people asking here. I mean, the questions are literally flying in. They want you to come to Canada. They want to know what you think about rollerblading. They want to know what your inspiration is.
You know what? Everybody says bad things about rollerblading too. I'm not going to say anything about it too. Just let everybody do what they want to do. You got to just let them do it.
Haters going to hate.
Yeah, haters are going to hate, but just everybody do what you want to do. I mean, it keeps you active, and those guys have something that's going on in their head that they're enjoying themselves, so just let everybody be, you know?
Yeah, I respect that.
Right? You know, like...
What else we got?
Unicycling, that's hard. Right? That's respect. Unicycling's crazy. That is nuts.
Hearing from the crowd right here at X Games 17. Here's another question from online. Day one, are you an energy drink person or do you prefer water?
You know what? I used to take down a lot of energy drinks, and I used to have like pulsating eyeballs, and like I used to be all whoa, because I drink so much coffee too. But as of lately, I've cut down on energy drinks. I drink a lot of water, but I used to love Diet Coke, but I don't drink that anymore either. I drink this, and I drink, I don't know what else I drink. You know what else I drink on occasion.
Yeah, we got all, I mean, a shout out. Okay, Reginator Cork wants a shout out to...
Reginator Cork?
Yeah, there you go,
awesome,
man. Now you can stop spamming the wall. I think Daywan just gave you the shout out there. Latin America, you have ever been down there to skate?
Yeah, I actually have. I went down to a lot of those parts. Like, it was fun. Crazy experience, but... Talk about like you didn't know there was that many skaters out there. I went to demos and they looked like the X Games. I was blown away. So it's pretty fun. I need to get back down there though. I haven't toured in a while, so I definitely got to get back on that bandwagon. I actually went to Panama and had sushi off a push cart.
Wow.
Man, it was good though. And I'm still alive.
What about skate? Do you have a pro deck out right now, or?
Yeah, I have
a lot of these kids are asking for where they can get a deck or get a hookup.
I have a pro board out from Almost Skateboards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We're selling them.
Yeah, Almost Skateboards.
Go get them.
Go get them now. When they're hot, they're hot. Impact boards too, really good. They last. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just saying they last.
Hey man, promote. You've been sitting here.
Yeah, Almost Skateboards. They last and they're good. And ever since I've got an Almost Skateboard, my skateboarding has changed.
Yo, it's like I got mad pops. I got kick flips.
Almost Skateboards for everybody.
Mitchie Brusco, is he an Almost guy? I could have sworn he was
Mitchie
wearing
Brusco was
an
on Almost
T-shirt yesterday.
He's killing it right now.
You checked him out last night?
I got to check. He's insane. He's like, I can't believe that. I wish I could buy some tricks off of that kid. You know, 900 in practice.
14 on the daily, just killing it.
All right.
You are the man.
All right, Daewon, we want to thank you for
thank
coming
you
in,
guys.
man.
I appreciate it.
You got any?
Thank you.
On the real though, do you have any plugs? You want to deliver any messages?
I just want to say thanks to the fans first off, and thank you guys, and thank you for the X Games for having me here. I appreciate that and letting me be involved with the Real Street. Thank you for all my sponsors. Thank you Almost Skateboards, DVS Shoes, Maddox Clothing, Spitfire Wheels, all these people out there. It's just awesome. Like, that's all I got to say is just without like your fans, you're nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, they're your legs when it comes to skateboarding. So as long as they're around, I'm around.
Right on.
That's all I got to say. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you. Woo!
So let's send it back to the people here. Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it right there from day one. It's the people that, you know, inspires him, makes him do what he wants to do. And like the questions are flying in. Your style is dope. Obviously, we're getting ready for Skateboard Street Finals. So let's just throw this out here in real time. What do you guys think our Skateboard Street Finals hashtag should be? So essentially, if you're going to tweet or comment, you have to use the hashtag, and we'll be able to pick them out. I don't know. What do you think here?
Let the people speak. It's got to be creative, though.
It's got to be real creative.
Right on.
Later, day one. I mean, they're coming in still up. I just saw hashtag Street Final. That's a good one. I like that one. Hashtag Cole was jinxed. That's harsh right there.
By day one.
There's another good one. Hashtag Skate Street X. What do you think?
I was going to go hashtag Jaws right there, but hashtag
hash. Yeah, let's do Skate Street X. I feel like that's a good one. So look, if you guys are on here, if you're on Twitter, if you're chatting with us live right here, we see all you guys: Aaron, Sammy, Lutska, Josh, River, Marianne, Jim. If you guys are on Twitter, hashtag Skate Street X, and we will, I don't know, talk about your tweet, feature it. Let's just check out the X Games Facebook page right now. You guys have been really active. Let's see. 2.1 million fans, and obviously I think our most popular post for today was about Travis Pastrana and you know, him potentially getting back into the rally scene.
Well, speaking of rally, I mean, let's send it down to Will. We're gonna bring Chrissy back on here, but Will, what do you have for us down there?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm over here in the pits of my man, Joseph Berg. Joseph had an insane battle with Liam Doran. As you can see, we have some casualty of war right here. But, you know, no big deal. Joseph's got it. Unfortunately, he didn't win the battle. What happened? Run me through what you were just telling me.
I don't know. I mean, Doran's quick. I mean, he finished third in the European Championship last year. I don't know. It was pretty close. I know I stalled at the bottom of the ramp. Probably didn't help things. But I don't know. I know I tagged the wall in the first lap trying. But I don't know. The guys did great. Can't really complain how we finished, but just wish I had a clean run, and then we really would have known where we stood.
Now, what's it like out there on the track? Of course, we're on the streets of LA. It's insane out there. We closed down streets to make this happen. What is it like racing in this sort of environment?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty ballsy. I mean, it's not a manicured course by any means. I mean, the guys did a great job building it, but I mean, they are streets. There are some ruts, and with these cars having 550, 600 horsepower, I mean, the ruts make a big difference. So, I mean, the walls close in fast, and they're definitely not going to move once you hit them. So hopefully this will be the last damage for the weekend.
All right, that's what we like to hear. You had a little bit of some issues from last week coming over here, testing. You blew a motor?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, being a student, I don't get to test much. So they tuned the car in Chicago, and then we brought it over here, and we had a problem with the dyno. Actually broke the timing belt. So we put a new engine in it yesterday and retuned that one. So it seems to be going strong. So I don't know. Hopefully the bad luck's out of the way.
All right, well, check him out. Joseph Burke, the Atlanta Activewear Mitsubishi Evo. It's getting down. I'm using it as my cooler right now. Some battle damage. It's all good. We're going to roll with the scratches and scrapes tomorrow. We're not going to buff that out because that's how we roll. It's Rallycross, X Games 17. I'm in the paddock. Again, check him out. Joseph Burke.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Will. As we're getting down here to the last 30 minutes or so, we're going to bring David Gravett in here. Chrissy's going to come in and give us some inside look there. And, of course, we got our people on the streets, Jordan and Will. And it's time to finish this off strong.
I'm feeling it. I mean, the people online are talking. We got rally, we got skate. We kind of got it all. Curious to see what happens out here and then get a little insight on skate.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Right on. Welcome, welcome.
Let's try this out.
Oh, hello. So welcome to the set, XCast. We're we're trying to give the people at home a deeper understanding of the skaters' minds or athletes' minds, and getting ready to come in here to the finals. How's today been treating you?
It's been pretty good. This is my first day at the X Games where I have no responsibilities besides this, but no skateboarding responsibilities, thank God, because my body has been run over by a truck here. So I'm glad to just watch some events. I mean, that's my favorite thing about coming here is watching the other events. Mario, my friend Mario's making fun of me. He's like, you're more prepared for to watch the other events than you are to skate yours. And I'm like, well, I don't get to see motorcycle, big air, and BMX part. Like, that stuff is so insane to me to see firsthand. And so I'm really happy to be here and see that stuff.
Well, thank you for joining us. We got the finals kicking off right now. You can see the finals over here on this screen. We'll be watching the repeats over here. But I mean,
so this is going on right now?
This is live right now. I mean, looking at the lineup right now, who are your two top picks?
Well, I actually have a couple side bets going out there right now.
Who you got money on?
Well, that's usually what I do when I come here. All my homies, I usually go up to them like, hey, $500 if you win, $500 if I win. And it's thanks to all the people that make bets with me, because I think they kind of know they have a better chance to win. And it's kind of a bad bet. But Ortiz is in for 1,000 with me if he wins, and Nija is, I believe, 100 or 500. I can't remember which. So those are my two guys that I stand to make some money on.
Are we rooting for them then? If it's $1,000 bet, or are we rooting against them? I just want to know what team I'm on.
We want him to win,
okay.
And then I get 1,000.
All right, cool.
Let's just jump right into a question here. Gravett, do you still have a King of the Road tattoo?
Well, they don't. You can't really get rid of them. You can't really see. You can see a little bit of the road, like on the corner.
Oh yeah.
But I got bushy brows. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my whole life.
What caused the tattoo?
Well, on King of the Road, one of the challenges was you had to get a Thrasher face tattoo for 500 points, which is the most points you can earn. And it said, like, please don't do this. And I thought about it one of the first days. Like, I could get it under my eyebrows. And I called my mom, and she'd seen the challenges, and she was immediately scared I was going to come back with a big scapegoat on my cheek or something.
You're like, Mom, I'm smarter than that.
I called her and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about shaving my eyebrows and getting Thrasher King of the Road over them. And she was like, oh, you're so smart. That's such a good idea. Well, so proud of you.
Well, let's jump into the contest here. Nija right out of the gate with an 89, and then Chaz with 84. I mean, talk about just the pressure of the time, because at home it seems like there's a good amount of time, but being in there skating, I mean, how quickly does the time fade on you?
Well, it goes quick and it goes slow. You can't believe how tired you are. Well, me, I don't know. These guys might be in better shape than me. It's very likely. But I was totally winded, and I can't imagine. These guys have skated so many times, and I don't know how you can keep getting better yourself for the finals. Like I can usually do my best skating as the first time, and then it just goes. I get tired and sore, but there's some true professionals up here.
So the contest yesterday, what was your strategy going into it?
My ankles were both destroyed from earlier in the park, and I had them taped completely up. Good. Thank you to the medical staff, who's been very helpful to me. Been there a lot. But yeah, my ankles, I just wanted to get through it, just not embarrass myself. I knew I was gonna be the only dude out there not trying to flip his board, and every time I popped onto something, it hurt. So I just wanted to make it through.
And how difficult is it? I mean, you'd made mention of it before, of this course and pushing yourself. We see Sheckler doing some big drops. I mean, how rough is it on your body?
It's rough anyone who for hours on end will just jump down something. I mean, it takes a lot out of you, and all those flip tricks and jumping, that's all your muscles are really flexing, and you're taking a lot out of you. Like, really is incredible to skate that long and do. I mean, I used to do it when I was little. That was the best times.
When I was little.
Wake up as early as possible, skate the skate park 12 hours a day. Like,
well, speaking of little, or at least young, let's take a look back to Nyja's first run with the 89. I mean, put into perspective how difficult this run is, or where that score is coming from to give him the 89.
Well, he's just killing it. I'm actually thinking maybe Nyjah Huston disqualified from X Games for breaking the laws of skateboarding. Like, you can't really do a lot of the stuff. He does tricks that are insanely hard, and he just does them in his run, like casually, with sometimes very little setup time. I've seen him do some really weird, just put his feet, do a little hop right before the rail into his feet in the right position, and just do some ridiculous flip in, flip out. Like, that was insane. You back 360 onto a rail that tall, but that is ridiculous. Oh my God, he's gonna owe me $500 or $100. I think that was a gold medal run right there. It's gotta be. If that doesn't win, I don't know what does. Actually, I'd like to see, because that was insane.
So our defending gold medalist Ryan Sheckler sitting in 5th right now. I mean, knowing his skate style, you were there with him all day yesterday. I mean, what does he have to do to try to get a 90?
He's gonna have to do a big stunt, and I mean, that's one of his favorite things to do. So I think he'll probably do a big stunt.
And haven't seen his run. I mean, do you see opportunities of where the stunt could be, or?
I've seen it. He's been jumping off that big drop, so maybe he'll do a frontside flip or a tray flip or a backside flip, one of those. Or he might just stick with those. I mean, I haven't exactly kept up with what his run is, but maybe if he sticks it all, it'll beat Nyjah. But that run I just saw from Nyjah was completely ridiculous.
And here's this is another live run of Nyjah.
Dude, so you can't do that. You just can't.
So you put your arms up, and I mean, put into perspective, break that trick down. I mean,
well, there's so many tricks going on there, like Jesus, man, that's insane. But there's so many tricks going on with that kick. Not only was he just doing a back tail fakie, but he was kick flipping into it, and then he was big spinning out. And that's so much to think about during that. And to do that in a contest run, that's just not right.
Let's take another rewind look at that and focus in on this. I mean, he's been doing a street league, which is all about landing big tricks and consistency. I mean, you can just see the confidence here in the way that he's skating.
Yeah, he's been winning everything. I want to know what kind of cool stuff has he got with that money yet? Does he have some fun toys? I hope so.
I would imagine.
I know I'm gonna get some fun toys with his $100.
I think he bought a Benzo, right? I think Tori Pueblo was saying he rolled up to X Games in a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah,
so.
the CLS white Benzo.
Those aren't that fun though.
What, the Benzos?
Nah. Yeah. What can you do with it? We live in we're not somewhere in. We can't. There's no Autobahn. There's no. You're just gonna get yourself tickets. You're just gonna. I do not invest any money into vehicles except for I went into a motorcycle phase for dirt bikes, but then broke my wrist, and now I can't ride any
you're
bike
like,
or
"Peace."
motorcycle.
Well, there's the new bar set, 91.66
With Nyjah?
from Nyjah.
Oh, man.
17 points, or sorry, 7 points ahead of Chaz.
Hey, David, talk about, we're getting a lot of questions about the P2 model or the P2 test. How, can you talk about that whole thing?
Yeah, that's the new thing that Creature and a bunch of other skateboard companies are doing, and it's just a really strong board. I actually don't. A lot of other riders ride them and they say they love them. I don't ride them because they're just a little stiff. I mean, which is good because they don't break. But I've never broken a board skating. Actually, that's pretty weird. I've only broken them on a couple kinks. Like, I'll try to lip slide a rail and the kink will break my board. But I've never broken the tail or snapped a board. So I ride just the normal ones that I love. But I've heard nothing but good things from P2s.
Proper. Hey, we made the promise early on. Let's let the people speak here as we get close to the rally final. They want to finish out the skateboarding. Do we want to see the rally?
Skater rally, yeah.
Skater rally, skate or die.
You guys watching online, it's really y'all's call. We're just here to talk about it. What's on your mind when you're skating? It says Abdul from Pakistan. That's actually crazy. Someone from Pakistan.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chatting. What's going through your head when you're skating?
All sorts of things. I mean, sometimes I'm listening, trying to get myself stoked on thinking of some music, or other times I'm completely not thinking about anything at all. And those are the weirdest ones, the blackout moments of tricks where you're just like, what was going on? But, or I'm just thinking, man, I hope I don't fall. Like, I think that a lot. But lots of different stuff.
Luan getting very close there. Let's take another look at his run. 91, putting the pressure on Nyjah.
I've been on a lot of trips with Luan, and he is a really, really talented skateboarder. He can pretty much do every single flip trick that there is, and a few that nobody, I think, even knows of, because he's the only one that can do them. But he can do them all, and all sorts of 540 variation tricks. Like on a bank, he'll kickflip 540, like any flip trick into like a 540, because he'll do the whole 360 and then land on his back trucks and pivot the rest. He's got it all.
There's Nyjah and Ryan Sheckler. I mean, 5th place is no position that he likes to lay or rest in. I mean, I think you nailed it right there. Looking for a stunt or something to pull this together for himself.
Thank you very much. Hell yeah.
Some shout outs from the crowd.
Yep. How much longer is the contest going for?
We have 6 more minutes.
How crazy was it that Alexis Sablon kickflip front 50 that hubba? I saw that in the girls contest and that blew my mind. First try. Jeez. Nollie inward heel down. Look at his foot setup, so crazy. And then
what do you mean by his foot setup being crazy?
I mean, he leaves so little of his foot on the skateboard. And he does a lot of movement before the rail. Like, a lot of people keep their feet, they get the position they want their feet in before the rail and they keep them there. Nyjah usually hops around a lot before he gets there, but he makes it.
All right, coming around the top.
All right, here's the stunt time. Oh, it's the kick. He's got it.
Kick flip.
Oh.
Does he need to step it up though if he wants to be able to beat the 91, or was that?
I don't know. I've got to see what else he's got, because Nyjah just had so many extremely hard tricks, but looks like he's putting a full pull together. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's definitely going to move him up from 5th. I don't know if it's going to beat all the stuff Nyjah put in his run.
Hey David, quick question from the fans that has to do with skating, but looking ahead to Skateboard Vert tonight. Sean White or PLG?
What I've seen, I don't know. I saw Shaun White on the Dew Tour, and he just goes so big, and he's got a lot of he links so many different spins in a row. I think he's a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Both of them are totally insane. It could go either way. I hope to watch that contest. I'm going to.
You'll be there.
Yeah. I want Jürgen Horwath to win, though. That's the homie from Berlin. I just saw him in Berlin like a week ago, and now I see him here. It's pretty weird.
Nice.
And that is on tonight, ESPN, 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. So.
And PLG going for the 4-peat.
And look, check it out. There's Sean warming up. It looks like inside the Nokia Theater.
I don't know.
Trying to get that rundown.
I mean, he's always a game day player as well. And both PLG and Sean, I mean, losing to each other, it is painful.
It really is. There's a lot of competitive spirit right there.
I think Shaun White's pretty competitive for sure. So
the biggest understatement ever.
You ever skate vert?
I do. I try to. I was getting pretty into it, but then I separated my shoulder on an Indie Air about 6 months ago. And it freaked me out because I've fallen like that hundreds and hundreds of times. It was your standard transition slam. Like, you mess up at the top and you go all the way to the bottom. You know it's happening. You tuck your elbow and you just take it to the shoulder. And this time I just felt it go, and didn't even hurt, but I knew it was gone. Like, I thought I broke my collarbone at first, and I was just instantly just kind of furious because I was getting over a broken ankle, and now I just separated my shoulder, and I was kind of not really worried about the pain. I just kind of went through moments of yelling at the sky and being pretty angry, then to just calm down and, all right, let's get me to the hospital. Like, starting to hurt worse, and then
let's focus on what gets it done, right? Like, messing around on vert. I mean, let's take a look though. Ryan Sheckler just landed a run, got himself currently right now into the 3rd place position. Let's see how he's able to get it done.
Is this a new run or is this a repeat?
No, this is the one we saw, but talk us through it.
Well, that was.
You made mention of maybe a bigger trick here than the kickflip.
That's still a big trick, though. I mean, that's a big drop.
So looking at this run, he's got about 2 minutes, so he'll have another chance. Where do you see opportunities of him to be able to bump up 2 more points and be able to take the top spot?
I think he's just gonna have to. I mean, there's some time. I don't know what he's gonna have to do. I mean, just do harder tricks. I mean, what could he do? You could just have to squeeze more tricks in. I think squeeze them in and change a couple tricks into a little harder trick. Maybe the kickflip front board turns into a tray flip lip slide. I don't know. Who knows?
And Nyjah right now running on the course.
I don't know what he can do to step up that run that he did. Oh, he's
still claim right there. It looks like.
Wait, was that just the beginning of his run and now he's already done?
The end.
Really?
We got 1 minute left. Skateboard Street final. Sheckler in 3rd.
So is this going to be Sheckler's last
opportunity
run?
Here to unseed or mix up the rotation.
Whoa, that is a big drop.
Wow. That was a big stunt. More difficult than the kickflip?
No, I mean, he just had to drop off. It's a lot of impact, though. Not a lot of people can take that. I mean, that bank isn't much of a bank.
But going for a completely different line, you can see trying to pull everything out, and it's gonna have to hope for that. I mean, talk about the exhaustion that he's feeling right now, having been out there yourself.
I'm sure he's so tired, so ready to be done and go have a nice meal, maybe get a beer. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, so how'd you do on your money coming in today?
What do you mean, like my side bets?
Yeah, how are you looking?
Oh my, jeez, who was that? Was that DeCenzo? I got a side bet with him. I think he's 500. Yeah.
So you're still very much in this final. That's essentially what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. I might still win. They might just, you know, who knows? Oh, contest make.
There it is.
Oh, damn. I saw Leticia Bufanta backsmith, or I don't know if I said her name right, but she
Let's take a look though at that the Descenzo
nollie,
catching a
nollie
tranny.
drop. And that's insane because he's got to thread the needle. He's got that bar right where you could slam your chin on if you didn't go, if you went too far. Like that is precision in the nollie.
Respect.
All right, we keep getting this question. David, rollerblading, yes or no? Thoughts?
I'll just say no. Do something that looks better.
All right, you heard it. Do something that looks better. All the rollerbladers out there. Silencing the masses.
Looking to bring them back.
So we're going to throw that out right now. The winning, I mean, that's our final, right? Nyjah.
Are we going over to Rally?
Man, where's the good viewing spot for Rally? Where do you even go?
If you can make your way to the top,
last right now.
If you can make your way to the top of the big air ramp, I think that's the spot.
This is the final lap. Liam already on course. Well, David, thanks for tuning in.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate
This has
it.
been my first webcast.
Welcome.
Talking experience. I hope there wasn't too many moments of silence for you guys.
That was perfect.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Go collect your cash.
What? Oh yeah.
Later on. And thanks to all the fans for sending in all these amazing questions. Hashtag HaterCast. That's a new one.
HaterCast, nice.
Haters gonna hate. That's kind of the theme of today, I feel like. Yeah, David Gravett.
Coming in late to the rally car racing final. Chris, it took us a second to get you up here. Who's taking it?
Well, right now Grunholm's ahead, but the only reason he's ahead is because Liam took the Joker lap on his first run, and Liam was ahead right off the start. You can see how much faster Liam's car is. It's really tip-top.
So a bad strategy move?
No, not necessarily. One way or another, Liam could probably guess that Grunholm was going to go a different way because Grunholm was right on this bumper. So the smartest thing for Marcus to do is to get away from Liam. Here they come together, and Liam did pull out in front, but not very much in front. So Marcus really did keep up over that whole time.
Any good nuggets from the sidelines over there? Any good insider info on what, up to this point in the race, what was going on?
Well, Tanner pulled off to the side on his semifinal, and it kind of almost looked like the same thing maybe that happened to Deegan earlier. So, and then you've got Grunholm, who's got to be wondering, he's in the third of those Fords there. So, is it going to happen to him? The difference here this year, which is quite a bit different, is that in the finals it's going to be 2 out of 3, and that's something that we didn't have in the past. So it's not over yet. They're still going.
And where are we right now? Who took the first?
Liam took the first one. So this is going to on ABC. They've got the replay there.
And that in-car camera view is insane. That's like shotgun right there,
Yeah, I love the in-car where you really see the guys working for it, and it's kind of fun because you get to see in the different cars. Some of them, like Tanner, always looks like he really is working for it, whereas in the Subarus they look a little bit more relaxed, like they're a little bit easier to drive.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Sending a message.
Yeah, I don't know. The Ford Fiestas just look so mean, so aggressive that you kind of have to be aggressive back.
And would you say that's a good thing, or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just your driving style,
So any update on Travis? Have you heard since testing this morning and since we, talked with him a little earlier today?
Yeah, now he wasn't ever going to be in today's event because he was supposed to be doing NASCAR. So, I was just in his motorhome before I came back over here. He's looking so much better than yesterday. They still don't have the go-ahead though. They have a really long checklist of things to figure out. I mean, just getting his leg to be wrapped in Nomex or a fire retardant wrapping is one thing because he can't have his fire retardant shoes on. So and then getting his suit over that whole cast, is kind of a big deal as well. So they've got a lot to deal with.
So sorry to interrupt, but I mean, are both these cars down on course right now?
Yeah, all these cars are down on course. They have a few minutes. They're given a few minutes to do a tire change here between these runs. I think that they're only given 5 minutes though.
Okay.
There's a cool view inside the camera.
Yeah. So these are the guys, and they're just sitting there during the tire change. Man, it looks hot in there. Oh, that looks terrible. It's a lot nicer out here, I'd say.
Liam looked like he was stressing in the car there.
He sure did. I don't know if it's just Marcus having so much more experience, but he sure looks cool, doesn't he? He's just hanging out there. And Marcus has all of this experience in the World Rally Championship, so he's used to really long, all of these endurance events, just being out there for, 2 or 3 days at a time, being in the hot car and things like that. Whereas Liam's from this family of rallycrossers.
I'm still a little confused though. What's going on? Did they race once, then this is a pit stop? Did
Yes,
they go
exactly.
back out? I mean,
Yeah, so they raced once and Liam won. Now they've got this 5 minutes to do a tire, but basically it's just a tire change. They can't take on any more fuel, which means that they had to have enough fuel at the beginning for basically 3 runs. They might have decided, well, I'm going to win it in 2 runs, so I'm only going to take enough fuel for 2 runs and hope that by being that much lighter.
Is that something they would actually do?
It's possible. These cars really aren't very good for the environment here. They are sucking up a lot of fuel right now.
Would that extra weight not being there though really help your car that much?
The weight limits are pretty strict, and so all of these cars are going to be right on the weight line, and so that it could be an advantage, yeah. And there, Liam's just ahead. Grunholm doesn't really have any choice here. He's not even as close as Higgins was to him. But you can see that Marcus here on that line still does a really tidy line there, whereas in the past race with Higgins was behind Marcus, and Marcus did his really nice tidy line, and Higgins was right on him, had too much speed, nudged Marcus, and that's something that we can definitely not expect from Marcus. He's not going to touch anybody. He's a really, really clean driver.
Send it to the people.
The people are they're still marinating, it looks like, a little bit on Skate Street Finals. And some people, a lot of questions out there with Travis Pastrana. It looks like Manuel Camino wants to know, what the schedule is for tomorrow as far as racing go. I guess tomorrow we're looking at more of like multiple cars racing at one time, right?
Yeah, tomorrow should be really exciting. The rallycross format is still pretty new, but we're gonna have 8 cars on the track at once. So, I mean, if it's this cool with 2 cars, times it by 4 and
on the same track.
On that same exact track, exactly. You can see coming into some of these turns as you watch this final here, how tight some of this stuff is, and fitting 8 cars through there is going to be really, really hectic.
Well, it looked like even on the with Liam there, I mean, you can hold 1 car off, never mind 3 other cars.
Yeah.
So right now, race back on. Liam again with the whole shot?
Yeah, once again, he's right in there. Marcus driving that nice clean line, but Liam's car just looks so quick.
So
Like
where are the opportunities? Where can he make a pass? Where does he have to make a move here?
Well, unfortunately, when you're behind there, you kind of just have to see where the other guy goes and hope that he makes a mistake. So right there, Grunholm did not have a good line going in because he expected Liam to take the Joker lap like he did the first time. If Liam took the Joker lap the first time and won, why wouldn't he take it again? But he chose not to. And that really screwed up Marcus's line into the Joker lap. Marcus isn't going to follow Liam the whole time because he's just going to sit there behind him. And it's so much harder to pass. That's what makes the Joker lap so cool.
So an amazing strategic defense in a sense, setting him up thinking he's going to go left, but he goes right.
Totally, exactly. And Liam really had the play on that one. You know, Marcus had nothing to do. He just had to make that last minute decision. Whereas see that line right there, Liam carried so much more speed through that than Marcus had a chance to.
So in your eyes, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin.
That probably was, yeah.
Well, Liam may have looked nervous, but clearly the nerves are paying off.
Yep, and there he goes. And he's well in front this time. It's amazing how much time you can lose on just such a little thing.
Well, when the race is won by less than seconds.
Yep. And that seals the deal. Looks like Liam won. Rally car.
Another gold medal Saturday.
There's Tanner up there looking probably pretty bummed out. Not even a bronze this time.
And he is the opposite of bummed.
The celebration.
He's so excited.
I mean, that's got to be such a payoff on so many levels. Like, obviously, there's a lot of monetary value in winning this, but all the training and the team, it's such a team sport. It's like, it's got to be a huge relief and celebration at that point, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And like I was saying about his particular car, the mechanics are very, very proud of that car. And so, you know, for him to win it, and you know, they're going to feel very, very justified. You know, I'm not to say that most of the mechanics, you know, really feel like their cars are really good, but when they go around and look at some of the other cars, they're like, yeah, our car's pretty good. But these guys were like, our car is amazing.
Sick.
But Liam has to keep it together so that it can be in Belgium next week.
Let's take another look at the race here and rewind, and then also, you know, first tell us, how does this affect going into tomorrow as far as confidence?
Well, I'd say that Tanner and Deegan have something to get over, just kind of being stuck there. You know, everybody else looks like they really, you know, kind of the cars held together. They put their best foot forward. We saw some really good competition out there. Yeah, I don't know. Faust going up against Higgins, you really kind of would have thought that that Faust had the upper hand. But then the car is just done. So we got to find out what happened there.
Let's take a look at the last race here, though, and a little rewind. Take us through here. You're sitting as Liam. You'd point out before some of the strategy.
Look at that. They both launched at exactly the same moment, so there's no advantage there. Clearly, Liam's car is just faster into that first corner. Liam did have the nice side, though. You know, earlier I was saying that everyone was talking about the left-hand side being the one, but it turns out that it was the right. So we'll see where everyone chooses to position themselves in the lineup for tomorrow.
And then coming up here is where he puts the move on him, right?
Yeah. So coming into this corner here, Liam,
fakes
right there,
as he's
fakes
going.
it out, and see that little move there? Grunholm had to make a split-second decision. Oh no, I'm gonna go left here, but he did not have the speed going into that corner that he should have.
Well, it's almost like every second car. Then it's a 50-50 chance, I'm guessing, of setting up or having enough space between you to see and then properly react.
Exactly, and the odd thing about that particular corner is that you actually want to carry a little bit more speed if you're going to make the full left-hand turn than if you're going to make the right. It doesn't look like it would be that, except that you're carrying yourself onto the dirt and more dirt here, and you can see that Liam has a ton of speed going through that corner, whereas and he's staying on the dirt all the way until the jump. Whereas if you don't take the Joker lap and you stay on the main road, then you're going back onto those marbles I was talking about before, and the whole car will just wash out and hit that wall, and that wall comes up quick. I was watching a lot of those cars really just skimming the wall, kissing it during practice. And it's all over there for Marcus.
Well, there it is. Liam able to get it done in just 2 runs, or 2 races. We have Will, our man, down in the pits. See if he's able to get Liam for a quick interview. Will, you around?
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm down here at the pits of Liam Doran. He did it. He did exactly what he set out to do. He came out here to win X all the way from Europe, and that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, we do have the Monster Girls here, but the whole family, the whole team is out there. They're out cheering him on the sidelines. Absolutely incredible. The 24-year-old kid was able to come and do what he set out to do, beating the World Rally champion, Marcus Gronholm. Ladies, are you excited? Liam Doran just won. All right. Lots of excitement going on down here. I'm sure the party will be here a little bit later on, but in the meantime, back to you guys.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate all the in-depth digging you were doing down there in the pits. And I mean, thank you to all of our reporters. Daryl over at BMX, Jordan over in Skate. Chrissy, thank you for hopping in the booth all day with us, giving us the insight.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And Daywan and David, and of course, Mick holding it down here, feeding us the questions and all the good stuff. For you guys at home, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. XCast, make sure to check us out next year. And of course tonight, I mean, we got some heavy action. Shaun White, PLG going for 4-peat. Make sure to check us out 7 p.m. ESPN. And this was our first XCast. Make sure to check us out next year. ESPN, always digging in deep, producing the live action sports. We're out of here.
Later.